going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are live and well. Yes, we are. I think, do I need to do go live? I don't know. I normally actually have this up. I wonder. Okay, there we go. We're live. We are live and well for sure. All right. Hiatus no more. Hey, that's a perfect title from the last one even. All right, cool. I'm going to let everybody roll in here. I am going to start the music. Going to play some music here. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let me know how it is. Actually, don't. You guys told me it was quiet last time, and it was actually, it was really loud. So you're messing with me. Job well done. It might be a little bit loud now even, but we're just going to have it rolling while people are rolling in. So let's see here. Let me go to TradingView real quick. And actually, oh yeah, I need to share this to the Discord. Let's see. Hold on. Get this, share this. What's going on? What's up, CJ? What's up, Spiros, Kozaris, C-Car Guy, TF, Legacy? What's going on, everybody? Good to see you guys. Oh, we will definitely talk about Jesus Coin. We'll talk about all the coins, guys. We're going to go over all of them. All 12,980. I don't know how many there are, but we're going to go over a lot of them. That's for sure. We'll start off with Bitcoin, you know, BS a little bit, roll in. Hope the music's not too loud. Again, I am going to post this right here in the Discord. Oh, I posted it in the requests. Let's go to general here. There we go. We're live, everybody. All right, cool. Send now, yes. All right, let me see. There was something else I was about to do. Oh, yeah, that's what I was about to do. Okay, I remember now. Let's see here. 1 second. Getting started, guys. I've been away for over a week now. Vacation was nice, but I felt guilty not making these videos regularly, man. I felt, you know, it was nice to relax, but I definitely enjoyed my time, but had you guys in my mind the whole time. Let's see, 28. We got 28 people in. What's up, everybody? Smiling politely, Memphis Tigers. Hey, Stana, how's it going? Magic BR80, JY Travel Ventures, Gabe Viable. What's going on, everybody? I like smiling politely. Balloon, how you doing? We will. You guys, if you could save the requests. Actually, you know what? We'll write them down. I'll go ahead and start writing them down right now. Hopefully, let's see here. We're on TradingView. Let's go to BTC. We'll just have a chart pulled up. We'll do Coinbase because the index chart can be weird at times. It can just be weird. We probably won't go over long-term stuff. So, all right. I probably will save the requests for a little bit later. Not too much later, but just a little bit later. Not like right immediately. Yeah. Alright, so we're sitting at 66.2K, you guys. I do think we have a little bit lower to go. I don't know if that's the low. It very well could be. I just want to say real quick at 59.57K, that could be the low. But we could go lower, even just a little bit lower, or like 9K lower and still be fine. So I don't think that we're out of it yet. Even if that is the low, I don't think that we are looking to break above these highs anytime soon. But you know, I'll get into that more in a second whenever we go over some other stuff. But I'm just going to write down the requests real quick. Let's see. Got to find a clean page here. We're almost there. There we go. All right. Let them roll. Let them roll. What's up? Hey. David Stevens, how you doing? Cracking pipe. If I haven't said hi to anybody, I'm sorry. There's a lot of comments coming in right now. 28 people in the chat. Glad to see you guys here. Thank you all for being here. Let's see. We'll start off with that. Yeah. And of course, as always with the live streams, I'm not going to give shout outs as we do these coins because I'm just going to write them down. But let's see. Welcome back. Yeah. Thank you, Smiling Politely. I appreciate you. I think Jesus Coin's going to do well this year. I don't know where it's going to go this year, but I think it's got a lot of growth to go. Gabe, good for you, Legacy. I love the classical music too, man. It's fun. Hell yeah, you know it. Ltcn and Bchg. That's a good pair right there. Oh, let's see. Let's see. AKT for Stana. Yeah, I did. It's been a pretty boring week, right? I mean, like we dipped down, we came back up, and you know, we haven't really moved sideways since this week, or we haven't really moved anywhere too far away since this week's close here. I don't know. Hey, I don't know what you said there. I can't. It won't let me translate. It normally lets me translate, but for some reason, it's not letting me translate right now. Clean Spark Marathon. We already got BCHG on the docket there. Balloon. I am going to ask, actually, starting now, if you guys could limit the requests to just one request per person, because there's probably going to be a lot of requests here. So one request per person on the live stream would be good. BCHG, Ltcn, are you guys doing this on purpose? BCHG, Hey, and Ltcn, you guys all. I don't know if it's a glitch. I can't read what you're saying though in the comments, and it looks like you're all the same account, but with different names. It's kind of like a glitch, man. I don't know what language that's in either. Anyways, math for magic. Hit that like button, baby. Thank you, Memphis Tigers. Always on it with that. XCN and Swift. Okay, we'll do those two, because XCN would definitely be one that I want to talk about. Swift coin for sure. Yes, I still have faith in Jesus. Yes. I miss you guys, man. Thank you very much, JK Trissler. I appreciate you. I tried, guys. I really did try. It's just hard. It's really hard. There's so much stuff going on with the cruise and with the excursions that we had, whenever we would port. I really didn't have time, man. We had to go to bed early to make sure that we had time to do everything. And while I was up, we were doing a lot of things. So I really didn't have time to make videos. I don't know how some people do it when they're on like vacation all the time. You see some of these YouTubers out there, man. They're making videos every day, even when they're doing things. I got a family though. I don't know. Maybe that's why a lot of these guys are solo. Maybe I just have excuses, man. That's probably what it is. Let's do FET. We've got FET written down. I'm just going through the list right now. Welcome in, everybody. I'm just writing down all these requests here. Thank you, Tim. What's going on? What's up, Stan V? Josh Williams, how you doing? What up from the Springs? Digibyte and Brit. Yeah. I'll probably write down just a few more. Do I already have mana? No, I don't. And then we'll get started. That way we can get to rolling here. Jasmi. We got 53 people in the chat. What's up, everybody? How we all doing today? It's in Hebrew. Yeah, that's what I was thinking it might be, but I wasn't going to guess that because I don't know, man. I'm partially ignorant to stuff like that. And that's the guy's account name. It's in slightly different color. Fair enough. Thank you, TF. Thank you for the welcome backs. I'm glad I'm back too, man. I did. It was a really good time. I'm glad to be back, though. I don't care how good of a time I have on any vacation. I'm always ready to be back. There's moments, I'm sure we can all relate, when you're on vacation where it's like, I could just never go back. But then you come back, and it's good to be home. Absolutely it is. I see. Okay, I gotcha. If he's requesting different coins, I don't know what coins he's requesting because it's in a different language. But, let's see. Or are you saying his name change was different coins? Is that what it was? It was relaxing as a vacation with a 2-year-old can be. Appreciate you, Legacy. Thank you. What's up, Mischiefism? I think you've been starting up some dramas in the Discord, or maybe you're not starting it. I don't know, man. I haven't gone through enough, but I see a lot of shit talking between a lot of people. It's fun to watch, honestly. I don't know. I hope you guys all know I love you all. I don't choose sides. I don't care to get involved in the drama. I get my own drama with people who shit talk to me, and I shit talk to them back, but there are no rules in the Discord. If you have anybody who's upsetting you, you know how it is. You just got to deal with that yourself. That's essentially the way that it is. And I mean, unless somebody's promoting scams and providing information that can cause whether it's financial harm or other forms of harm to you. Other than that, I'm not going to block anybody or delete anybody. It's just a free-for-all, you know, and I would hope that the Discord does provide a lot of good information, but as it is with the internet, as it is with human beings, we're going to disagree with each other, and sometimes we're going to talk a little bit of smack to go along with that. So that's just how it is, and I hope you guys all understand. I know it's not your average Discord. Most people you get banned as soon as people start throwing tantrums, but we're not going to do that. That's just not how it is, man. I want it to be as free as possible, and with freedom comes things you don't like at times, right? What's up, Harvest? What are you doing while Hadera explode? I don't know. We can go over Hadera though. Hbar. Did it explode? Did Hbar explode? I want to see real quick. Let's see. Hbar. Hey, what's going on here? Let me know, guys. Is the oh wow, it did explode. Look at that. 72% up this week, huh? Is the music fine? Is the level fine? Is it too loud? I can turn it down. I'm gonna probably turn it off once we get going here too. Wow. Not a lot of volume though. Let's see. It's a new week though, actually. Actually, that's a pretty good bit of volume. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that doesn't look like a lot of volume, but we got 5 days left. This could be the real deal, man. This does look like a breakout move. We'll get into Hbar for sure. That's on the docket. It'll just be a little bit later. But I'm gonna stop writing down requests. I missed you too, Bchg. Let me see. So let me go back up to the top. I might have had it backwards, right? So hey. Okay, so for some reason it's backwards. Okay, that's interesting. So it's left to right is what you were saying, TM. Okay, I get it. Okay, I understand. Or TF, not TM, I'm sorry. Brett, not Brit. It's Brett. Brett. Okay, I got you. Brett, not Brit. Do I have comp? I do. Comp and dot. It might be John Speed. It could be more extended. Who knows? ML and FTM. You guys, if I missed anybody's requests, feel free to just write it again. A little loud. Okay. I'll turn the music down just a little bit. You know, we'll turn it down a little bit. Tell me how that is. I don't know. That might be better. Oh, they tokenized RWA, real world assets on Hadera. That is big shit right there, Harvest. That's big shit. I doubt they'll use maybe they only use Hadera. Maybe that's their exclusive blockchain to put RWAs on their docket. But for those of you that don't know, RWA, real world asset, all they're saying is they're taking real world things like houses, like commodities, whatever, and they're tokenizing it, but they're doing it apparently through Hadera through the Hadera blockchain is what it sounds like. That's what Harvest is saying here. That is huge news. This is very huge news. To my knowledge, that's a first. It might not be the only. There might be other coins or blockchains that are accompanied by that. It might be an exclusive thing, though. I don't know. Yeah, get those likes up. What's up, Passport X? Thank you guys all for being here. We're going to get started right now. And Krill. Okay, hold on. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I know it looks like it's in like either some kind of Russian or Slavic or something. But I'll review. I already got Phantom on there. I'm going to do farm, but I'm trying to just keep it at 1 request per person right now because it's already a big list. But I'm going to go over the list right now. If you made a request and it hadn't gotten hit, please, if I don't give it on this list, please let me know. Just leave a request again and I'll try to get it later. There are a lot of comments that it rolled in. We're talking about Bitcoin, obviously, first. We're going to go through this first and foremost. We're going to talk about Jesus Coin, Ltcn, Bchg, AKT, CLSK, MARA, Math, XCN, Swiftcoin, Fetch.ai, Digibyte, Brett, Mana, Jasmi, Compound, Dot, Hbar, ML, Phantom, and FARM. That's the last one that I got there so far. Yeah, it's essentially, it's not that it's a never-ending rally. There will be breaks, but yeah, essentially, yes. As time goes on, it'll probably only do well. I'll throw BCH in there, Kraken Pipe, with with BCHG. We'll probably go over that too. But let's get started, guys. I am going to, I don't know, what do we think here? Should I pause the music or should I leave it playing? What do you guys think? Or leave it playing but turn it down more? Let me know. Let me know. We'll do that real quick and then we'll get started. Like, I'll turn it down. Like, is this a good volume here? I don't know. I can't hear it. Because if I could hear it, you guys would hear it through the feedback here. Is that okay? I would appreciate, good question there, M-Hat. I would appreciate if there's no spam too. Because not that a spam is a scam, but spam is, it's just annoying. You know, people got notifications on Discord and stuff like that. I won't block you. I might mute you, you know, if you do stuff like that. I've never done anything like that. Spam's just kind of different, you know. I don't know. We're all adults here. We're not in middle school. We're not in high school. We're not on a video game. It kind of is like a video game at times, but yeah, if we could try to keep the spam free from the Discord, that would be appreciated. I think that's a good point there, M-Hat. I mean, I don't know how many eggplant emojis there were. I'd have to see. I'll turn it down. I will turn it down more. Maybe like here. If that's too loud still, let me know, and we can just pause it all together. Asia is sleeping. Well, when they wake up, they're going to pump that Hadera, man. No racism or sexism, you know, of course, definitely don't want to see that, but at the same time, if people say things that are, let's just say, disagreeable, you know, I think that's up to you guys. You can block individuals yourself, so you'll never see their comments. If you find things offensive, you do not have to have that, but I will not, even if I find something offensive, I will not block somebody or kick them. That's just not my style. I think we just got to kind of face the music, so to speak, whenever stuff like that comes along. But yeah, I would appreciate it if there were no racists or sexists in the chat. But sometimes there are jokes or phrases that people can say that they might come across that way to some people, and to other people that's just how they talk. I get it, you know, but I'm not trying to get into that. I'm not trying to start a I don't know, a discussion about that. But good points, Stana. Good point, M-Hat. We will definitely talk about that. Yeah, try to keep it free. You get it. Yeah. Freedom of speech is a thing, man. 90% you're wrong, so I need your prediction. I don't know what you mean, but maybe. So we're going to go over it. We're going to go over it right now, guys. We're going to get started. All right, so we're talking about Bitcoin here. I did say a second ago that I think that we are going to go a little bit lower. If we're looking at the weekly time frame, we did just get out of the overbought zone with last week's close. Now, generally speaking, that doesn't bode well. We generally do tend to go down lower. You know, in fact, this time here, the last time that we were overbought and then we were not, right here on this week, from the weekly close to the low point, we dropped another 7.10%. This was the week, last week, that we closed out of the overbought zone. I guess we dropped 8%. This was before the weekly close, though. I don't know. Maybe that was the low. Maybe that was the bottom, basing it off of this. If we were overbought here and then we were not on this week, you know, right here, this is the week that got us out of the overbought zone, right? After being in it for a little bit of time, we went as low as 10%, you know, so 7%, 8%, 10%. We're in that range. That really could be the low, guys, but we could go a little bit lower, of course. And regardless, I wouldn't expect that we're at the end of this consolidation. I'd love it. I would love to be wrong on this. I would love to see the price just start going up again and it be a phase of consolidation just like this was here. I would love to see that. But I'm anticipating something that's a little bit more like this. Something a little bit more like that. Maybe not as long. Let's see. How long was this actually? Let's see here. And consolidation, again, it doesn't mean we're going down the whole time, right? You didn't move down the whole time. You moved down for 13 weeks, then you moved up. And then you move sideways, then you move down for 1 week, and then you move sideways again. We were essentially sideways. We didn't break out for 32 weeks, 224 days, 2/3 of a year. I don't think it's going to be that long. Roughly 2/3 of a year. I don't think it's going to be that long. It'll probably be something of a mix between this amount of time and this amount of time. And actually, if we have 32 weeks, right, that was the last one, 32 weeks. This time it took us 9 weeks. So a nice even in the middle there would probably be around 20 weeks time, something like that maybe, that we're up in this area. We've been here since here, 7 weeks. I mean, 20 weeks, that'd put us, yeah, in July. That kind of lines up toward the end of July there, maybe in August even, you know, something like that. That lines up with the range that I'm expecting as far as time goes. And again, this isn't, again, just to be clear, this isn't saying we're going to be going down this whole time. We could. It's possible. I doubt it, but I mean, we could. But likely what we're going to do is either we have already found our low or we will soon find our low by the end of this month or sometime in May. We're very close to it. If we haven't found it yet, which there's a solid chance we could have found it already, we will likely continue to move sideways. We will consolidate like this. We will have weeks that pump and then we'll move sideways and then dump and then move sideways and then pump. You know, I mean, it probably won't be exactly like that, obviously, but just because we had a bullish finish to last week does not mean that we are ready to go just yet. But that also doesn't mean that we have to drop just yet. We could drop, I mean, we could go up to like 70K first. We're going to get into the more short-term stuff. I just want to let you guys know and be clear as to what I'm expecting over the weeks, over the months to come. I'm going to check the comments here. Colorado, Denver area. Yeah, that's where I'm at, baby. Yeah, while you were out, wait, hold on. And racial and homosexual slurs. Oh, sounds like Elijah. Sounds like him. Maybe, I don't know about the racial slurs though. That's not something that I've seen. I mean, I believe it if you're saying it. I just haven't checked the Discord, but I know he says some weird things. He's kind of a weirdo, man. But we all are at certain points. I hope nobody, if I ever call you a weirdo, I hope you know that I mean that as a term of endearment. But also, if you are being weird in a way that's offending people, you know, maybe just try not to. I'm not going to try to tell you what to do with yourself, man. Again, you guys, if you have a problem with somebody, just block them yourself. That's like the best I can recommend, because I want to leave the door open for all people to talk, even the people who you might not like, even people who might not like you, because that's just how I am. I don't, on comments, whenever people comment on my YouTube and they, like on the channel, they write comments on the videos and they write things that are mean or even lies or just things that maybe are misconstrued. Things that are just like they're trying to insult me or whatever, belittle me. I'll just write back, you know. I'll just talk crap back to them. Like I'm not going to block them. There's plenty of YouTube channels that block or like mute whenever I say things that they disagree with, but I don't want to be like them. So if you have a problem with somebody in Discord, just block them, you know, or suck it up and deal with it. You know, you have the freedom yourself to do that as well. Whatever you want to do, but I'm not going to block anybody. I might mute somebody if we're getting a ton of nonsense spam, though. Yeah, I live in Colorado. 99 watching and 9 likes. That's a good ratio. I think we could do better. I think we could, but 10% seems to be about the going rate, so I'm okay with that. But the more the merrier, of course. Tesla. Yeah, we'll talk about Tesla. Free speech, yay. Yeah. And with free speech, I forget who said it. But essentially, I know Elon Musk has said stuff like this, but I've just kind of always thought like this too, is like with free speech, you're going to have, you know that you are in a place where there's free speech if you're hearing things that offend you or that you don't like personally. And that's kind of the cost of it. That in a sense should be liberating too. Like you've got a platform, a place where you can literally hate somebody for what they're saying to you or just like think that they're total scum, but you at least know that. Maybe you just disagree, but that's the whole point of freedom of speech, is to have these disagreements. Some of my best friends that I've made in my life, in real life, and even on the internet, man, have been with people who we talked a bunch of smack at first. We didn't like each other, but you know, we duke it out, we settle our ways, and then we're like, hey, you know what, you're kind of funny, I kind of like you, you know, like I don't know. Friendships can be molded through fire, man, forged in fire, that's for sure. And I think to prevent the freedom of speech would also be to prevent like potential relationships to being built. But man, I'm going way off on this here. Can you look at Bit Digital? Yeah, I'll type, I don't know, what is Bit, is it BTBT? Is that Bit Digital? I think it's BTBT. So yeah, short-term stuff for Bitcoin, guys. I'm getting all sidetracked. Freedom of speech. All right, that's it. If we look at the daily RSI for Bitcoin, I think it's very clear that it's bearish. To me, it looks very bearish. You know, you've got lower lows, lower highs. Absolutely rejecting the bullish area of control. You were finding support on the 40, but then you kind of gave way here a little bit. forming a lower high as of now, not until the day closes. We're only, we got 26 minutes left in the day. We're only down like about 0.5%, so this isn't too condemning. We could continue to climb, but as of right now, I think we have seen the height of this little move up. I think that we will continue to pull back after this because there's no volume following through. There's no volume at all following through. If we go to USDT on Binance even, maybe I can use that one. Yeah, no volume at all. You had some volume here on this day, and it was a big wick of a day. Of course, you're going to have a lot of volume on that. But again, don't be confused. Don't make the misconception that a lot of volume on a day like this means people are buying. Every buy is a sell. Every sell is a buy. You're buying from somebody who sold it to you. You're selling to somebody who bought it from you. So to say like, oh, this is clearly buy volume or this is clearly sell volume, like that's just not accurate. Don't treat it like that. You can, and maybe if it works for you, if that's how you understand it and it works for you, don't listen to me, whatever. As long as it works for you, that's really what matters. If you're getting good results thinking like that, that's what matters. But for me, I look at volume not as a people are buying or selling, but for what it really is that people are transacting. They're transacting, and whenever you get transactions taking place at higher levels as you're moving, that's like an exchange of hands, people saying, I agree that this is the price. Like, I agree on this price, whether it's for buying or selling. Like, there's more transactions being fulfilled, and you want to see those transactions being fulfilled when you're making moves up. Like here, you had a little spike in volume. Okay, it was a little bit higher than what we saw down here. As you're moving up, that's good. Okay, moved up, not a lot of volume. You're moving sideways, which is good. Volume's dying off, consolidating, and then when your volume came back in, moved to the upside, it was greater volume. That's exactly what you want to see, and you carried out past that. Now the volume died again. You're moving sideways. Of course, you're going to move down. You're going to look for levels where you can find volume, and probably around the areas that we last saw volume. So like here, this day here, from an open to a closing basis, this is a pretty high day in volume, and then this day as well, you can see the wick where probably most of this volume came in. This is the area that we found our low. So it kind of all makes sense. You can roughly look at it like that. Beyond that, obviously the RSI, in my opinion, it looks bearish. But if we look at this relative high here to this low, hi mom, hi dad, hi grandma, hi grandpa, if you guys are watching, maybe I should use this low because this is the low that started that move up, I guess. We didn't quite hit the 618. Which does stand to reason that we could go higher. We could go up to about 67.4K, maybe even 68K. Maybe we go all the way, again, like I was saying earlier, we could go all the way up to about 70K before pulling back further. But it really wouldn't surprise me if this was the extent of it right here, if we started to move down after this. Because a lot of people do pay attention to the 618, the golden ratio, whenever it comes to Bitcoin specifically, in which case this could be like a front running of selling. There might be... This could be, when I say front running, I mean people are paying attention to this level. So instead of selling at that level or higher, they're selling beforehand to get ahead of the market. And with that, you tend to get these little moves where it reaches for it, but it just doesn't get there, doesn't quite get there. And then we pull back. And that's actually more bearish than it is bullish. So if this were to happen, and we're going to look at the smaller time frames in just a second, we could do one of two things. We could find support at about 64.3K, which looks to be an area that we could find support a little bit above it, a little bit below it, whatever. We could go down to the 236, and perhaps we form a double bottom, or perhaps we do, in fact, go lower. If we were to go lower, if we were to form a new low, from low to high here, we'd be looking at prices anywhere from about 57.7K to 55K, maybe even all the way down to 51K. And you guys know from the last videos that I made talking about Bitcoin, which are well over a week old now, that those are all prices that we've been expecting for quite some time now. So expecting does not mean it has to happen. I'm just saying if this happens, this should not be a surprise, right? This also holding as a low should not be a surprise. That's not me trying to play both sides of the court. That's just me saying the truth that nobody knows where the price is going to go. We don't know if it's bottomed yet. We don't have enough evidence to say that it has, whether it's going up or not. We don't have enough evidence to say that it's not going to go lower. If it were to go lower, that's the area to expect, I would say, between about like 58 to 51K. But if we were to go higher, it would surprise me. I wouldn't think that we're going to go higher to new highs. It would surprise me because I do think, based off of what we've seen historically for Bitcoin, we're likely going to consolidate and be boring for at least another month, if not probably more likely closer to 3 months, something like that, or more months. It could be more months. And I want to answer any questions you guys have as much as I can. I'm going to go through the comments here in a second, but I know a lot of people are spinning the narrative that this cycle is going to be shorter than any cycle we've seen before. It's going to be strong, but it's also going to be shorter, and we're going to find our top sometime this year. I very much don't believe that. I've been very outspoken about that, and that's not me trying to hold on to hope, cling on to hope, and just put my head in the sand and be like, no, put my foot down. No, we're going to have a cycle that goes to 2025 because that's what I've been saying all along. No, that's not where I'm coming from. I'm looking at the data. Looking at the data, simply the data itself would suggest nothing less than a top happening at the earliest in April of 2025. At the latest, it could be sometime in 2026, and that's no shit at all, man. That's the absolute truth. This cycle, you guys, is just getting started, and it's obvious we just had the halving, okay? We just had the halving. Look back. You can look for yourself. I'm not going to do it here. Maybe I'll do it later, but you can look for yourself. Measure, use this tool here, right? The date time thing right here. Measure how long it takes from the day or the month or the week of the halving until the cycle high. You'll find nothing shy of at least a year, if not a year and a half or more, right? So that's that. But I'm gonna go through here. Let's see. Crazy Rich Asian's awesome, man. His Discord, he had a Discord bio that was hilarious, man. I think he took it down or he changed it, but events should be disabled on the Discord. One of these people were spamming, posted a troll event, insulting Discord members. All right, MHat, I appreciate that. I will look into that, and I'll definitely do that. You guys, what do you think? Should we make MHat a moderator? I think he should be our first mod. I feel like MHat gets it. If you would take it, MHat, if you'd be up about that. I'm not like a lot of channels in the sense that I'll just let anybody be a mod, guys. I don't have any mods right now because, for one, the channel's small enough, and for two, I really don't want people getting blocked. I don't want people getting kicked out. I want it to be, a free speech platform, and I know a lot of people get their feelings hurt on the internet, but I feel like MHat, you've definitely shown that you can handle it. Smooth operator too, but I don't know if he'd want to be a mod. But let's see here. I'm talking so much, you guys. G-Soul. But MHat, I'll look into that stuff after this video, after the live stream here. BT, okay. Do I see mana picking up? I hope so, Robert. I hope so. I don't know. Maybe. Tri-King's in the house. Holla at Miami. Dude, I was just in Miami. You guys, Key Biscayne is beautiful. It's like the closest key to Miami. It is beautiful. I never knew it existed, man. It's a really cool. There are a lot of rich people that live there. Thank you, T. Mullins. Appreciate you. Let's see. Sonuva. What's up, bro? What's up, Patrick? How you doing? Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. We haven't done Jesus Coin yet. No, I'm about to start on that. I'm about to go through these requests here. I can be a mod, but I can't. Yeah, it's okay. No, it's not. It's nothing serious, man. The Discord just kind of runs itself. So, I mean, I trust, with your ideas, like stuff like that, handling that would be, I think, cool. I mean, I'm going to handle it myself, but just if you have anything like that, you can just send me a message and say, hey, is it cool if I do this? And I could say yes. I feel like, and then also there's times where there've been scammers who you've pointed out to me to kick. And it's like, if the sooner that they're kicked out, the better. So, if you see it before I do, that's good too. But no, it wouldn't be any kind of serious requirements, man. No obligations. Do what you want with it. That's about it. TA on Doge, yeah. We're gonna cover comp for sure. Yeah, I think he'd be a good mod too. MHat, the people want you as a mod. Yeah, you're okay with it. We're gonna make you a mod, man. Doge. All right, so let's talk about Jesus Coin. Again, just little closing statements on Bitcoin. I do think we're probably going to go lower. I want to look at the short-term time frames. 4-hour RSI does look a bit strong at the moment, but it's also kind of curving. It looks like it's curving, and this could promote some more immediate downside. I really do like the idea that this is the high. Again, we could go higher. We could, even if I'm wrong in saying this, if I had to put my foot down and say what I think is going to happen, I do think we're going to go lower from here. Now, we could form a higher low right here. We could form a double bottom. We could form a lower low, which is kind of what I'm leaning toward at the moment, but we might not. This genuinely could be the low. It really, really could be, but let's just see how it goes. I don't think there's enough conclusive evidence either way, but we have a lot of time in this phase of consolidation to determine that this is the low already when we're so close to it. I think it would be premature. So finding resistance at the 123 moving average on its first attempt, it really gave it hell. It really fought here, but you're definitely finding resistance at the moment. You know, this 4 hour has 16 minutes left. It looks like you could make another run up. If you can't get a decent bit of distance away from this area soon, you're likely going to get that rejection. And again, just because you do get a little bit away from this area, you could go up here. You're still going to form a lower high, right? And you're probably just going to go lower from there. Now, does that mean that you're going to go to a new low? Maybe. Does that mean that you're going to find a double bottom? Maybe. I don't know. But we'll see when we get there. Either way, I do think we're about to start moving lower relatively soon. Tomorrow, if not over the next few days. I think this week, looking at it right now, you know, we're green. We're up 2%. I wouldn't be surprised if this week closed red. But who knows? Time will tell. That's for sure. It'd be kind of not expected, in my opinion, to get out of the overbought zone just to get back into it, but that does happen. We do have those weeks. It's just less common to do. Not impossible, but less common. Anyways, we're going to talk about Jesus Coin now. Nope, not Discord. Dex Screener. You guys, I saw a lot of sun. Nobody has commented on my tan. I worked so hard for it. I got burnt and everything, man. I feel like it doesn't look that much on this. I got the white light on. Maybe that's why. Let's see here. Everyone pointed out my haircut as soon as I got the haircut, but nobody wants to talk about my nice tan that I worked so hard to get. I didn't work that hard to get it, man, actually. Let's see. Jesus Coin. We did it, guys. We hit it. The land that was pissing a lot of people off by me talking about it, the land that I had forsaken but had talked about a lot, the land of the 707s. We did it. We actually hit 70682. This very well could be the low for Jesus Coin, you guys. And I do plan on buying more. I do plan on buying more. I don't care if the price goes up before I buy more, but I am going to buy a lot more Jesus Coin, man. I might double down on my overall holdings because I do think that we are near the low, if not at the low. And if we go lower, that's okay. How much lower could we go? We're at the 0.5. We could go down to the 618. It is possible. Absolutely. And from here, that would be about a 42% loss. So if you're like me and you're looking to buy, I would not buy all of it right here. I'd buy a little bit. If we come back up here, you know, you can DCA up here. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe it comes back down. You want to DCA back at these levels, you know, and then maybe we go up. You have to buy at higher prices, but hey, at least you didn't buy it all down here just in case it like goes lower 40%. You know, I'm speaking fast. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm not going to throw it all in because I don't know which direction it's going to go. It might not even come up here. We could just go lower. I'll probably buy some more soon, like honestly very soon. But I got to get some things in order first. But yeah, Jesus Coin, man. I think it's going to do well this year. I think it's going to do well this cycle. I know a lot of people have been a little bit disappointed with it recently, but from low to high, you can see we haven't even actually hit our 1272 yet. I might wait personally. I might wait until we see this hit to buy more. But it is at a pretty good area to buy as of right now. If we look, let's see, total from the top to the low, we've dropped 88%. A little bit more would give us that 90% look. That might be the area to buy, but I'm not going to wait till there. I'll probably wait until that 1272's hit. Low to high, buy there. Probably layer in as we go lower. And then if we break crucial resistance areas, if we do get back above this 618, you know, there's nothing wrong with buying up here either, guys. There really isn't. Of course, it's not as ideal as buying up here. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But, you know, even from there, from all-time high to like at the tip top right there, that's a 70% difference. So you're still buying at a pretty massive discount. And to be fair, also, if you bought here and it did go up there, you know, that's 111% gain. So of course you'll feel like, oh, I missed out. But really, you guys, this, I think, and this is my coin. I feel like not everybody's on board with it, and that's okay. There are a few faithfuls out there who are on board with it, and that whatever, man. We all have our coins. This is just a Jesus meme coin, you know, with a very solid community and a mission to just do good and give more. That's the motto that they have. But let's see, 1272, that would be a 12x, almost a 13x 1618, that'd be a 27x. Those are your likely targets to hit when we do see new all-time highs. And you can see that this thing loves to move fast. It really does. It likes to move fast. Whenever it moves up, it loves to move fast. Whenever it's moving down, it takes its sweet-ass time. So whenever it is time to go, you're going to see that come in quick. You put in a little bit of cash. Who knows, man? I mean, 10 bucks at a 26x, what that's... why am I drawing a blank? That's 260 bucks. Is that right? Yeah. That's 260 bucks from 10 bucks. You put in 100 bucks, it's 2,600 bucks. If that happens before this Bitcoin consolidation is over, you'd have an extra bit of cash you could sell here and then put it in another investment that you're looking forward to, that you have more faith in or that you're more convicted in for the rest of the cycle. It never hurts to put your hands in multiple things, you know. And I like to put my money into meme coins, man. It adds a little bit of fun. I feel like it's kind of the spirit of crypto at times. But I do think it's going to go up higher. I definitely do. Those are my minimum targets. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this year we saw prices literally as high as this, and that would be at over 100x from here. So genuinely think that that's possible by the end of this year, but time will tell. We'll see. If we were to mimic this last move from low to high here, and let's just say we go a little bit lower, right? Let's just say that's our low. I mean, that would take us to about 5 zeros, 3133. We're at 7 zeros, 7 zeros, 8 right now. So that's Jesus coin. Let's talk about Ltcn and Bchg. I guess I didn't really do short-term analysis. Hold on. I want to do some short-term. Yeah, I'm not impressed by the daily. Not impressed by the RSI. It looks weak to me. You're having a hard time getting above this 40, man. I do think you're going to go lower. I do. And that makes sense with what I was saying earlier with the 1272 at least at a minimum being hit. I would not be surprised if we saw the land of 7 zeros, 4s coming about. That would make sense for multiple reasons. We have the 1618 there. We have the macro 618 there as well, right here from low to high. Bam, kind of lining up in that exact same spot, right? Literally actually overlapping with it. It's been a while since I've looked at this chart. Literally overlapping 1618, 618 right there. Both of them golden extension, golden ratio, lining up very well with each other. So the land of the 7 zeros, 4s is upon us probably. So even with that though, I'll probably start buying just below. Like just below 707 is probably where I'm going to start buying. But not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing personally. I'll let you guys know, as I always do, whenever I make a purchase, whenever I make a sell, I'm very transparent about that. And that's not to influence your decisions. I'm just literally putting my money where my mouth is. I try to be transparent because I feel like you guys appreciate that. I appreciate that. And if I make a good call, it shows that I actually made the move with that. And I think that's good for credibility. And if not, if I make a bad call, well, then it's there also for you guys to, just be like, haha, you were wrong, or, learn from my mistakes, hopefully. Good to see you, Disco. Thank you. What's up, Kevin Mike? Let's see. Thank you. I feel well, Stana. I feel very well. I appreciate you. Hell yeah, you know it. Very suave, BCHG 007. We got Mr. James Bond from BC. He only gets paid in BCHGs, man. You want to hire him as a double agent, you need to have some BCHGs. It could be private sender. It could be the low, but I think it goes lower. We'll do XCN. I got that on there. I got Hbar on there. Tia is running, huh? Those are further down the list. You guys, I am going to try to move through these a little bit faster so that we're not all just waiting on our requests. But Ltcn, yes, it does look like it had a little momentary low. I'm not convinced that that's the low yet. It could be. It really could be. Let's see. Low to high here. Reached for the 382 but didn't quite get there. This is all too familiar territory, isn't it? Where you reached for the 382 and you didn't quite get there. You were close, but you didn't get there, and then you went up higher. Let's see here from this relative low. I would have thought you'd go to the 618, but you didn't get there. Anyways, that could be the low. I'm not convinced just yet. I want to look at Litecoin. If we're looking at this for what it is on the RSI, it does look pretty good. I'm not going to lie, actually. This is pretty. That's not the straightest line, but you can see kind of what I'm going for, right? Like something like that. I'm going to change the tempo here a little bit with the music, you guys. We're going to, let's see here. There we go. Yeah. We're going to play some chill music. I know we just had the energetic. It's a totally a 180 here for the vibe, but let's see. We'll do comp. We definitely will. Thank you, Join Jen. I appreciate you. What's up, bathroom guy? Let's fucking go, bro. If not this live. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to do videos later today, guys, too. I've got a lot of making up to do. This is just the live stream, you know, and I'll probably talk about the usual suspects later, and then I'll go through the comments. We'll be back on the request chain as per usual after today. I will, Joe. We'll definitely do comp, I promise. I don't know. You know what that means, in my opinion, Globe Tracker, is it means Pepe is probably going to take a dive soon, man. That's what that probably means. Anytime futures come out, especially on big exchanges, get the hell out. Take a short, bro. Take a nice short with low leverage in case it does run up. Have a nice little run up after. I mean, not financial advice. Maybe don't take a short. Maybe wait. I don't like. I don't know, man. I don't know. Nobody knows. But generally speaking, you get futures on a big exchange, and Coinbase isn't the biggest exchange in the world, but it's one of the biggest exchanges for crypto in the world. If they're listing futures for Pepe, that probably means it's going to take a big old dump real soon. LTCN here, bearish divergence. Absolutely, it's bearish divergence right here on this weekly time frame. Right, you've got a high here, a lower high, a double top at that. That would normally be good for a move back down to about 1575. Okay. Now I was saying a second ago that this could be the low, and it really could be. Okay. If we put a horizontal line right at the tip there, you can see you found support at a previous area of resistance. It makes sense. Previous area of support. Of course, it makes sense. But as long as you don't have a higher high or too much separation, you know, you're probably not good for continuation just yet. Continuation as in continuing up. You could, it's possible, but I'm not holding my breath over that. I do think that you could move lower first, and you probably do. The daily RSI to me does look a little bit more sad. You broke this upward structure that you have. You haven't gotten oversold yet. You did bounce off the 40, which is nice, but you're set up to reject the 60, which could promote, and actually you did kind of close today red. It could promote the idea that you are going lower, and I'm in favor of that thought. If we look high to low, tipped the 618, beautiful, classic move. Best case scenario would be that you hold either the 0.5 or the 382. There is still hope that, of course, you could go higher, but at this point in time, I would think that you're going to go lower than this low, lower than the white line there at 2780. And if we're looking to go lower, what we would do is we would take this fib and flip it, put it on that high there and this low here. Look for the extensions and look at that. Your 2272 all the way down at that kind of bottom where that weekly bearish divergence formed. You could go all the way down to your 2618 at about 14 bucks. LTCN at 2780 now. You are definitely not out of the woods yet. And if we look also at the 123 daily moving average here, this green line right here that I'm poorly drawing over. If you were to come down, you know, you might find support on that as it continues to come up. So there are a lot of areas between about, I'd say, really like this high area here at about, what is that, $18? Let's call it $19 to about $14 that you could find resistance. But that's a far ways away, being at 2780 right now. So I do think that you could go lower. Let's see. 4 hour. We don't really use the 4 hour on stocks. It's odd. Yeah, 3 hour looks. I think you found your high. I think you have. I think it's your relative high. It's a lower high. I think you're going to go lower. So that's LTCN. Let's look at LTC real quick to see if that's a comparable thing. Though LTC could move up and LTCN could still move down, they don't have to move in unison as much as we want to believe they do. LTC looks like it might move lower as well, but I wouldn't think it moves too much lower. It probably is going to do some boring stuff. It's probably just going to be boring, moving sideways, slowly working its way up over the weeks, over the months to come. That very well could be its low at about $71 there, $70.83. That could be the low, but it absolutely could go lower and still be fine. But I don't think LTC is going to see anything crazy. It could. I don't think it's going to, but I don't think it's go for upside just yet either. So that's LTC. Oh no, I paused. It paused a little bit. Let's see. You guys still with me? All right. I don't know why I did that, but let's see here. Yeah, we're good. Looking good. Okay, everything's, you can still hear me. We're all good. Okay. We're going to talk about BCHG, and we'll throw BCH in here as well. Grayscale Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash. Looking at it on the weekly here. Overbought. Now you're not. You hit a high of like 93, almost 94 on the RSI. What was that? Was that a 94? 94.1. 94.1. If you guys ever see me click this down arrow over here, you click it down, it gives you all the readings over here. So whenever I scan this, you can see the reading for the RSI over here. It'll say it in the numbers. It says 94.1. So if you're ever wondering why I do that or how I know where it is exactly without like zooming in on it, that's how. Little tricks to the trade, because I know there's a lot of beginners in here and people who just haven't used TradingView before. So little things to kind of help you with your own analysis and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. This looks like it wants to go lower. I think I definitely wouldn't be surprised at all. 382 support above the 236. That's nice. 650, 550 maybe. I don't know. Maybe you don't go that low. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to gauge here. Let's see. Low to high 382. The last time you didn't even hit your 382, did you? Or you did. Okay, you tipped it. So then maybe we can go off of that. Oh, well, see if we go off of that though. You technically already did that. Interesting. Interesting. I don't like the daily as much. The weekly, just like LTCN, the weekly looks better than the daily does, which is fine. Let's see what you're doing relatively speaking here though. High to low. 618 resistance. Tipped it. Beautiful. Looks like a rejection to me. We need another day for confirmation. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Let's see how the rest of this week goes. But looks like you're rejecting the 60. Yeah. Yep, that could be a rejection there, man. And if that is a rejection, if we do proceed to move lower than this low, you could be looking for prices anywhere from 940 to potentially 560. You know, this low right here, or this high point on a closing basis, is right there between the 2618 and the 2272. The tip itself also very close. It's just right in that middle, right in that zone there. So prices below 560 but above 460 are possible. They are on the table for BCHG. But again, just like LTCN, you know, you have a solid chance of finding support in this zone as well, between about 680 to $8, $9 even. As the days go on, you know, you come lower, this 123 moving average comes up higher. You might coincide support with the golden ratio and the 123 moving average. You might hold support down in that area. That is possible as well. So lower, nonetheless, being at 1650, talking about prices that are at the highest at $9.40, that is quite a drop to go, let alone all the way down to about $5 itself, or 460. So definitely some trials and tribulations ahead of us, but I think it's okay, man. BCHG is going to do well. And at no point, I hope anybody who's watching this who owns Grayscale, who owns some Grayscale Trust, I hope you guys aren't thinking about selling. I'm not a financial advisor. You do what you want. Hypothetically speaking, right? If you were to sell here and then you bought down here and it does go down there, you made a great play. You really did. But we've been here before, right? Where there were people holding on to the idea that the price was going to go lower, myself included, right? I definitely thought that the price was going to go lower than it did here. And some people sold all their BCHG, and then literally 1 week, boom, it's up 106%. You never know when these weeks are going to happen. Just because the TA or there are things in the chart that suggest that we could see this price, right? This little bubble right here, look at how much sense that would make too, just from like a basic kind of analysis, from this low to this low point here, right? Right on the trajectory with this overall. Just because it looks right or it makes sense doesn't mean it has to happen. And I was expecting lower prices there. I remember commenting on this line. I'm like, it wouldn't be crazy if it pumped here, but I'm like, I still expect it's going to go lower. I really thought we were going to see this 123 as support, but we didn't, and we probably don't on the weekly basis for a while. But again, I'm addressing this because I want you guys to understand that I'm not saying sell here. Just because I'm talking about prices, we're at $16.50, I'm talking about prices potentially going down to $4.60 does not mean I'm saying sell here. I'm just saying if it goes down here, to buy more. And that's not financial advice. That's just if I was interested in buying this, that's what I would do. But I certainly wouldn't sell. And the reason I wouldn't sell is because if you zoom out, if you look at this thing on the big picture, we've got a lot more to go than just 1650. We've got a lot more to go, okay? From high to low, the minimum target for BCHG is $250, potentially up to $1,500. Like, why play the game when for the rest of the year, going into next year, we have tremendously higher price targets ahead of us? Don't play the game. Just buy more. Be happy with the stack. If you bought BCHG or LTCN, you had to have thought that you were buying at a good price. You had to have believed that you were buying a decent asset, right? All those things are still true, right? Time will provide the clarity for that. Time will provide that these are good prices. It's just, relatively speaking, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I wouldn't be buying here, but I definitely wouldn't be selling here. The time to sell, I don't know. I guess if you were to sell, this wouldn't be a bad place to sell. This was probably obviously the optimal place to sell. But as we go lower, if you're like, maybe I should sell, maybe I shouldn't, but then we get down here, definitely don't sell there, man. Because you could find support at a previous area of support, a previous area of resistance, very common thing to do, and then move up. So I'm going into too much detail here, all just to say, just because I think the price could go down tremendously does not mean that I'm saying sell. Okay, I'm just implying maybe you should buy more, but I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. You guys are big boys, big girls. Do what you want to do. We're going to move on from there. At this rate, we're going to be talking about this stuff all night, you guys. AKT, USD on Kraken. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Maybe on Coinbase. Let's see. Let's see here. Kraken it is. Okay. Wow. It had a nice little pump today on Coinbase, didn't it? Or this week, I should say. All right, Kraken. Nice bounce off the 50, hidden bullish divergence. It's a good look. I don't like the potential rejection that you have set up here. It's a nice look so far, though. You got a nice reaction in a key area. It's a nice bit of volume. Huh. Is it the real deal? That remains to be seen. We got 5 days left in this week. Let's see how the rest of this week closes out, because this could be some kind of double top, or this might be the beginning of something that just is a continuation of this whole move up here. You might be moving up to new highs. If we look at this relative high to low here, you topped off at your, I guess relatively speaking, you topped off at your 1618, found support around your 1272, moved up to your 2272, 2618 area, found support on the 1618, huh? Previous all-time highs. It's not a bad look. It really is not a bad look at all, honestly. Making me scratch my head. Let's look at the daily. It's a big wick. It's the one thing holding me back from being bullish on this thing. But there's a lot to be bullish on, especially that volume. It just got dropped on Coinbase. I want to see how much has it dropped from its listing on Coinbase. I don't know if it was its high or its listing price. 51. That's about fair. I don't know. Maybe it is ready to go higher. Daily RSI doesn't look bad, though it's in a precarious place. If you were to close the day red sizably, this could be a pretty major rejection, closing at previous areas of support as well. That's not what I was looking for. Right here, right? Previous areas of support, rejecting here, confirming it as resistance. Would not look good. Finding a relative like double top, not good. Rejecting the overbought zone on the daily, also not good. So it hasn't done that yet. We still have a whole day until that happens. And really, I think we should see how this week closes. Let's revisit this. Stana or anybody who's holding on to AKT, feel free to request this in the Discord later this week, because I think it'll be worth checking back into. At the moment, just because I'm generally biased to the bearish side with most crypto, I'm going to say that I think you go lower. But I could be wrong, man. There are always cryptos that do well while Bitcoin consolidates or the market moves down. There are always those cryptos that do their own thing, and this could be one of them. But right now I'm not getting enough in the charts either. I will say the daily and the 4 hour look good. They look pretty damn good. But it wouldn't take much. It would take a day or two to make them look very bad. So, and really all we'd have to do is just start moving down from here. Start giving this move back immediately. So let's check back in on this. I think it would be a really good answer, an appropriate response at least. I do like it. It does look pretty damn good. I'm skeptical. It's the overall conditions of the market that have me skeptical right now. BCH. Oh, I skipped BCH. Damn it. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. You guys, I did. All right. I'm sorry. Let's see. Weekly bearish divergence as well. That divergence has been fulfilled. We had our lows here at 442. You guys, that really could be the low. It does look like a tweezer bottom. But as with Bitcoin, as with a lot of cryptos, that might be the low, but that doesn't mean that we're off to new highs just yet. Just as this was the low, and we didn't go lower, we wouldn't even get back near that low at 164. The next one was at 180. It's a pretty sizable difference. It's not like crazy, but let's just see from low to this low. That's like a 10% difference. We moved sideways. We were very boring for a long time. And I don't think, just like Bitcoin, I don't think that we're going to see a long phase of consolidation like this, but I also don't think we're going to see a short phase. I think it's going to be a mix between the two. Just a little bit longer than this. Definitely not nearly as long as this, but we've probably got more consolidation to go. But that doesn't mean that we're going to move down the whole time. We could move down lower. It's possible, but I do like that as an area for a bottom. I really do. BCH tends to bottom out before BTC. It tends to top out before BTC as well, in my experience. Kind of a weird area to find support. It wouldn't be crazy to go down to about that $410 area whenever looking at the fibs like this, but from a relative fib perspective, right at the 618 tweezer bottom right there, I mean, that could be it, you guys. Lower low, higher low, that's hidden bullish divergence. It's all good. Like, it's good looks, that's for sure. Rejecting the 50 area kind of with today's close that we just had 10 minutes ago that I totally missed as it was happening, but hey, might go lower. It might. Because you found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touch points on the 618. If you go lower than this, I would think that the 886 holds, which would mean that the lowest I would give it, being at $506 now, the lowest I would give it would be $370. We really could. Bitcoin Cash does love the 6.9. It really does. We could see about 430, 425, somewhere in that area. But I would think the lowest it would go is $370, potentially $400 itself, and perhaps just slightly below this low here. Let's see if we find the low to high there. 1272, 1414 lines up very well with that 786. That $400, $430 area could be where we go next. Looking at the daily, I wouldn't be surprised if we were on our way now. It doesn't have to happen overnight, but I would think that either before the end of this month or sometime early next month that we would see that low come in. 4-hour RSI rolling over a little bit. Yeah, we're probably moving down right now for BCH, so that's that. That makes sense because I think BCHG wants to go down more too. So let's talk about CleanSpark and Marathon, a couple mining stocks here. Going to talk about those. Yeah, oh yeah, bigger swings for sure, Patrick. You know. Shout out to the Dragon Riders one more time. Let's see here. Let's see. Krill. I'll write down Krill again. Or not again, but I'll write down Krill. I've got Farm on there already. But before I write down the other two, I want to get through more of the list in case anybody has HZen. We could talk about HZen too, yeah. I haven't talked about HZen. We are going to talk about Hbar. Maybe I can throw it on there with... Or no, Hbar is different than HZen. Sorry, that's Horizon, not Hadera Hashgraph. Anyways, let's see. CleanSpark on the weekly. This could be the low. It would be a little bit surprising to me, but at the same time, it suffices, man. Previous areas of resistance right here, finding support on it. I mean, that's fine. That could be it. Positive reactions for sure. Though I would expect that we do go a little bit lower. I would expect that we see this as a low point, being that, from this weekly closing high, we found support here right on this line. This weekly closing high, after breaking above it, we found support right on it. I've been going with that narrative now for over a month. I'm going to stick with it until proven otherwise, and a lower high does not prove it otherwise for me. The daily RSI does look nice, I will say. It looks pretty nice, bouncing off of the 35. Not ideal, but I mean, it's not bad. It's a nice look. You got a very strong move up here for sure. If you do reject tomorrow, though, if we do close the week red from here, that would be a rejection off the overbought zone, and that would set you up for lower prices than this here, which at a minimum I would expect about $11.90. That is absolutely still on the table, even being at $20.73 now. Even with this tremendous run up that we've seen this week, the volume looks nice, the move looks nice. I just want to see more of it before I'm convinced that we're not going lower. We are at the 618, 6.9 area, the golden ratio zone. It is common to hit this area and then go down. CleanSpark loves to not hit this specifically. It loves to hit the area, not most, but there are charts that will respect the 618 to a T and then pull back from it. CleanSpark doesn't respect it to a T. It respects it in general. In my opinion, that's just what I've seen. So, you know, here's a prime example. Let me just go through and do this real quick. This might be, I forget if it's this one. Yeah, so like the 1618 clearly found resistance here, but not right on it, right? You went a little bit above it, right? Found support on your 886, but I guess you actually found support right on your 786 technically. Held the 1886 for support, but you went a little bit below it. You know, it fudges the numbers a little bit. So being that right now you're at your relative golden ratio 618 area, I wouldn't be surprised if you rejected from here. But if that were to take place, it'd probably happen starting tomorrow. Throughout the rest of this week, you'd probably start to move down. That doesn't mean you can't move up tomorrow and then close the day down. You know, you could have a reversal, just as like this day opened up. I guess actually it opened up to the upside. That might not be a good example. This day opened up to the downside, but then you went up. You know, you can have a reversal like that, but I don't know. It might go up. It might go up a little bit more and then go down. But let's see. You know, if we can get above on a closing basis $23.11, that's essentially $2.40 away from the current price. If we can do that, then I would think that we're going to see new highs. I would think that we're going to see probably upwards to $30 to $35, maybe even higher. Honestly, it likes its 1618, so probably above $36 is what I would think. Being at 20 right now, that's decent gains, but that remains to be seen. Let's see how we react with the $23.11 area first, because at this moment I still am looking for that 1190, a little bit below there. That's kind of the area I'm looking for. Volume in the move looks good though. Let's just see it continue. If it continues, cool. If not, that's that. It's just a lower high. Marathon Digital here. Let's see. High to low. 382 resistance, classic. You've got a higher high in your daily RSI with lower highs in price. It's hidden bearish divergence, not normally a good thing. Same thing as CleanSpark. Let's see how you do. Continue past this. Continuing past this would be very key and crucial for this thing to not see lower lows. If you do reject this area, Marathon, you are incredibly likely to see lower lows than the current price you just bottomed off, which was $14.18. From a low to a high, we could see prices go down to, did I draw that right? Yes, I did. Okay. Down to $13, $11.50, maybe even down to $9. Let's see if anything makes sense out of that. I don't know. That whole $11.50 to $13 range looks pretty ripe with like previous areas of resistance down here, kind of right in the middle of this range too. Maybe on this fib we can find some. Yeah, look at that. Golden ratio of this low to high discernible move here. Golden ratio right at the 1272, 1618 zone. That $13 to $11.50, specifically $12.30 to $11.50, does look like a good range for Marathon to go down. So the weekly RSI does look a little bit bearish as well. Daily RSI, I'm not impressed by it. It's definitely less impressive than CleanSpark. Overbought on your 3 hour. Yeah, I think it's going to go lower. I do. But let's just see. You know, if you can continue the rest of this week to go up, if you don't turn around tomorrow, you get some follow through above this 382. If you can reach for this 618, there's hope. But at the moment, I'm not hopeful. I think it goes down. So that's that. A lot of these, I think, deserve to be looked at later this week too, and I'm sure people will request them. Let me check in on the comments here, though. Let's see. That's okay. I don't know. I mean, maybe it does. It could move up to 700. I mean, it's like, honestly, that could have been the low. I just don't think. My reasoning for thinking that we're not going to move up to 700 right now would be, if we were to do that, I would anticipate that we'd be looking for higher prices, probably. That's just my thoughts. Like, if we're going to go to 700, that would mean we're looking for higher prices soon. But I think that because we just had the BTC halving, the BCH halving, I think higher prices from our most relative highs in like that 720 zone or wherever it was, I think that's at least a month away or more. So that's why I personally don't see that happening, but it could. It is the dragon, man. Unexpected things happen. It is a volatile beast, man, and I have been wrong plenty of times, as we've all seen. So, you know, who knows? Who knows? Time will definitely tell. I think the end of this week will provide more clarity for sure. I think the end of this week definitely will. Let me see if I can. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Let's see how it does with the rest of the week. But as of right now, I'm a little bit pessimistic. You're a little bit optimistic. Let's see how it goes. Maybe it doesn't go down to 400. Maybe the current lows that it has are the lows, you know, and it just moves sideways. I would most believe that it just moves sideways, but I do believe it could go lower. Absolutely, I do. What's up, Jeff? Thank you, man. Appreciate you. I don't know. I think I've had more. I think I have had more, but this is pretty close. 104. I've had like, I want to say it was like 120 something, 130. We did hit 120 something earlier, so I mean, it's, if not new all-time highs, we've double topped. You guys share this with your grandma, share this with your cousin, your brothers, your sisters. Let's get to the new all-time highs. Sorry, I thought I just heard something. We're all good. We're all good. I don't know why Hbar is spiking. Apparently it's because BlackRock has an arrangement where their real-world assets are going to be on the Hadera blockchain, is what the news is. Let's actually look at that. We'll look at that in a second, but let's just see. We'll just type in Hbar BlackRock. Yeah. Hadera and ARCX enable first tokenized ARCX. See, so it's not just one. Yeah, tokenized BlackRock MMF shares. Is this a farce? Is it the real deal? We know in the crypto space sometimes false information gets spread. 1 hour ago, 16 minutes ago. Let's see how time goes. But I don't know. It seems legit as of right now. It seems legit. What's ARCX? ARCX. We're gonna talk about math in a second. Okay, I promise. I don't know. Is that maybe it's just a company? 1 second, you guys. We're good. Okay, so math. Talking about math here. It looks like a bearish top, in my opinion. This does look like a descending triangle, right? It absolutely does. Generally speaking, though, bearish patterns in a prevailing uptrend, which I think we absolutely have, they tend to flop more often than succeed. So that is kind of a thing. But with this pattern in mind, the statistical probability would be to the downside. Let's see. High to low here. 1 second, you guys. All right, and we're back. We're back in the saddle. Okay, let's see. All right. I see the Skyrim music is still playing. Man, if you like Skyrim, hit that like button. I love Skyrim, man. It's a great game. The music is even better. Looking at math though on a weekly basis here, you did hit your 1618. You are below your 1272. The next likely target being at 44.5 cents would be at about 36.3 to 30 cents, actually 27 cents, somewhere in that area. I would really consider that 36.3 cent to 32.6 cent area as a likely area to find support. If we look at this for what it's worth too, you know, pulling back and testing back the area that you found resistance on before does make sense as well, and that would be, you know, 27 cents, 30 cents, whatever, like anywhere and everywhere in that range, which lines up pretty well with this 886, 786 area. Oh, I guess it doesn't. 618, 69 area. So maybe you go a little bit lower, but you don't have to. You really could find support on the 886, 786, just to be clear. 1 second. All right. Let's see here. Probably goes down. That's all I'm trying to say. That is all I'm trying to say. Yeah. Lower prices. That's math. All right. XCN. We're going to talk about some Onyx coin real quick. Moving on from there. YFI. Yeah. We'll talk about comp. We'll talk about comp for sure. It's on the list. I got you guys. Don't worry. Bitfarms. Yeah, we'll throw it on there. Bitfarms, we're going to swap. Bitfarms was requested first, so we're going to do that first. I got Swiftcoin on there, Grayson. Hired Hbar for RWA tokenization. Live viewership, double top, with or without hitting measure move. I don't know, man. What would the measure move be? Because the high before MHAT would have been at... Let's do this. We're going to do this right now, actually. Hold on. I feel like the high before was at... Man, I have to really scroll out for this one. Let's see. It was at like 40, 50, something like that. We'll just say 44. And it was as like low as like 20s, 30s. Let's do 25. The extension would have been, right, because we're at 120. So there we go. We hit our deep extensions to the 2618, 2886. So from there, if we were looking at the extension, I guess we would go back. The lowest that I've seen recently would be like in the 60s, 50s, right? Like when things get going. At first, we have like 20 to 30 viewers. But like when things get going, let's just say 60. Let's do 55, 60s, 50s. The next extension, you guys, for viewers will be at a minimum, and it makes sense, okay? It makes perfect sense because the 1272 is at 150. That's the minimum. But the 1618, the golden extension, is right between the 3618 of this deeper, of this earlier extension down here. So we'd have about anywhere from, I'd say, 185 to 202 live viewers potentially on the next live stream. It's in the chart right here, guys. It's proof. We can't deny it. The numbers have to be respected. Look at this. We even have some respect right up here at 319 and 323. 320 subscribers is on the horizon, you guys. We just might have some volatility until then. But yeah, those are the places to look forward to. That was inspired by Mr. Hat himself. Let's see here. I got to scroll all the way back down. All right, here we go. Looking at XCN, we had a bit of a sell-off. On the bright side, you guys, if you're looking to buy into XCN at this price, you're still getting in at a cheaper price than I bought. My cheapest price, I think, was I bought below 2.6, but that's my average, or 0.0026. That's my average right there. So we're well below that now. We've gone well below that. I do plan on buying more. I think it will go lower, and after this, like next kind of low here, probably in this area, is where I'm going to start buying more. Now, it could go lower than this low. That absolutely is possible, though that could be the low as well. For a lot of cryptos, I wouldn't be surprised if we have found the lows already, but it just depends. Time will tell. Just because they found the lows does not mean it's time to go just yet, or that they couldn't go slightly lower. But tipped that 786, had a very positive reaction afterwards. Let's see how you do. Looks like you're bouncing off of the 50 area on your weekly RSI, which is a nice look in itself. The daily, oh, that's kind of a nice look too, actually. Relatively bearish RSI, but you've broken that structure. You're above the 50. Man, getting a bounce here today would be really nice to see. And that doesn't mean that you can't go lower. We could go lower and then come back up to close the day bullish. You know, that's okay. If we had some kind of like big wick day like this or like this, right? That's okay. Something like this over here, whatever. And then we check back with the 618 too, you know, to find support. That really wouldn't be bad. Maybe we do go down to 0.002 around there today, like today, and then move higher. Finding support here would be really nice to see. It'd be really, really nice to see, in my opinion. We don't have to, but let's just see. Something like that. I mean, we could go lower. Just because that's the 50 doesn't mean it has to be respected, though it does seem to be respected largely across the board. You could go a little bit below it and it's fine. So I guess a green day today isn't as crucial, but we wouldn't like to get back below the 618. Wicking below it's okay, but closing below it, we don't want to do that. So the daily RSI is a bit encouraging. It's not the most bullish thing ever, but breaking this bearish structure at the moment, and I would say you have, it is pretty encouraging. So let's just see how you do. I would think if we go lower from here, it'll be either a higher low in a sense like this, or, you know, if it were to go lower than that, you know, maybe we'd have a quick move down below the 618. Hopefully nothing that sustains below 0.00199. Looking at the 4 hour here, yeah, the 4 hour does look a little bit bearish, which supports the idea of moving down relatively immediately. It's a nice look. It's a nice look, not gonna lie, but that structure, just like we broke the daily bearish structure, the 4 hour bullish structure looks to be just broken as well. So implying that we could see a little bit of a down move here soon, just like today over the next 12 hours, maybe for the rest of the day, moving down to 0.00209, 0.00193, somewhere in that zone, and then hopefully finding support and continuing upwards would be the hope. That's the hope. Looking at it on a weekly, though, I do think that when things start to get going again, the next targets that we have to look forward to, I am assuming that this is the low right now. I am assuming this is the low. Hold on, guys. I'm back, everybody. Sorry, my daughter was having a bit of a meltdown. I had to help out. Let's see. Caribbean hat, Caribbean M hat. What would the name be for that? Who's the Caribbean Mr. Hat, man? I don't know. That with Caribbean hat. Joseph Keating. Yes, you can stop the missing persons report. Yeah. What about Digibyte? I've got that on the list too. It's on the docket. We're going to talk about that actually soon. But I was in the middle of talking about XCN, you guys, going up to about half a cent, a little bit over half a cent for its next target. And that probably will happen over the coming months. XCN really could move up in the next month to 3 months. It could, but I think like most cryptos will probably consolidate for a little bit. But it could surprise us. You know, we could see some positive reactions. Finding support in this area, getting up like this would be really nice. I mean, the last time we found support in this area, we did get our next move up. But to be fair as well, we also consolidated not after the low, but around the low for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 6th week, we moved up. We've only been down here for 3 weeks, so it could be another half month or a month or so before we start moving up. And even then, we're not at new highs. But I think XCN has a bright future ahead of it. I really like the volume profile. I really like the look of the chart too. It did go down for a large portion of its existence, but it came out, you know, at the very kind of like beginning of the bear market. It had a very nice curved. That's not a nice curve. Something like that. Nice curved bottom. It's a very positive structure in my opinion. Pairing that with the volume, I think that there is a bright future ahead for this thing. If we look at the all-time high to the low here, the all-time low, I suppose, the minimum expected target, if we were to see new all-time highs, would be at 42 cents, potentially up to 244. We're not even at a cent now, so that's phenomenal growth over the course of the cycle. That's not the next move. That's just like literally the cycle prediction. So that's XCN. Maybe a relative. Did the carpet? I dig that carpet. Can you see the carpet? You like the carpet? Dude, we love the carpet too. We got that at the furniture store whenever we first moved in together. I guess not when we first moved in together, but whenever we moved here to Denver. And yeah, my daughter has made a mess out of it. She has spilled plenty of food and drinks on it, but I love that carpet, man. I really do. We'll talk about ICP for Lawrence. Absolutely. ICPP. Let's see. This is what This is why I use Plan B. That's funny. Well, do you use it? That would make you the girl. The girl would have to use it, right? I mean, maybe you are the girl. Mischiefism. I don't know. But that's funny. Let's see. We couldn't listen to the Skyrim VM until you left. Oh, really? So it's like you can't hear it until I'm quiet. That makes sense. Nice curved bottom. Patrick, you know it, buddy. We like those nice curved bottoms. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. Everybody can appreciate a nice curved bottom. I mean, look at it. This is what gets us going, right? This is what we look for. This is it right here. And I know you know what I'm talking about. All right. Swiftcoin. Swifty. XCN probably found its low, probably goes down today or tomorrow or whatever, and then we'll work our way. We'll consolidate for a little bit and then start working our way back up. Swiftcoin getting swifty over here. Is this the best chart to use? Probably. Okay. I mean, it's not the best, but probably. I don't know. All right, we'll use KuCoin. Okay, KuCoin. From a high point to a low point, we found resistance at the 1414, 1272 area. Pulling back now, I would think you do continue to pull back lower. I remember I had somebody a couple weeks ago, because I know it was up here, it was above the 1272 whenever I made my first price prediction for Swiftcoin. I was saying we would at least go back to here to about 0.004, if not down to here, and he was upset. I know he was upset because he insulted me. He said he thought that I was wrong, and I could have been wrong. I'm not, I'm just saying. I always find it funny whenever these guys will make a mockery of me up here, but then when we're down here, it's like, where you at? Where you at? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm being ridiculous right now. Who cares? I think lower. 0.004 still needs to be hit, in my opinion. If not, 0.0033. Now, however, this does look nice for a front-running kind of low. I'm just assuming you would go lower. The weekly RSI looks fine. It looks fine, but you could go lower and it still would look fine as well. And it is very common after finding resistance in this area on the fibs to go back down to your 886. It's very, very common. So I'm looking for that. And then beyond that too, you've got previous areas of resistance right here, literally right there, right at that 0.0035 area, 3.4, 3.3, whatever. Previous areas of resistance back there. It wouldn't be crazy at all. And Swiftcoin, I think it's existed longer than this, hasn't it? It has. It's existed even longer than that. Is it on OKX? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember now. My last analysis, I was saying that we probably go back where we kind of found, this was our breakout zone. It might even be as low as this down here, right? You spent a lot of your time below this line. We could go all the way down to 0.0034. I think that's right. I think that's accurate. Somewhere around there. Find support there at the lowest. We don't have to go that low, but we could. I want to look at the Coinbase chart one more time because it might be more accurate to draw a fib from. Talking about accurate fibs, right? That's funny. Let's see. Not Fibonacci's, just the word fib, like a lie, an accurate fib. I don't know. 382 right at 0.0035, right there at 0.0035. Is it on OKX? Yeah. 0.0034. Right? Previous consolidation phase before you had your breakout move. Absolutely, that's a breakout move. I think that what's notable about Swiftcoin is, first off, it's listed on Coinbase, okay, and it hasn't been listed on Coinbase for most of this time. It's a very big exchange. That's a big deal in itself. Secondly, you haven't spent this much time consistently like this above this line. It's up and then down. Up, you had a couple weeks up and then immediately started moving down, right? And I mean, you spent a good bit of time up here, but here you're spending a good bit of time. Look at how different this looks compared to here. And you can see it in the RSI too. Look at how much stronger, more resilient you are versus any other time you've been above this line. So unlike every other time where most of the time you'd come up and you'd find resistance in this area, I'm expecting that you'll come down and you'll find support in this area. Maybe you go directly to that line, maybe you go just above it, maybe you go just below it, whatever, potato, but 0.0034, 0.0035, that's probably the zone you're destined for. yeah, that's my thoughts on Swiftcoin. Getting swifty here. Let's see. 0.5 rejection. Oh, yeah. Closing below the 382. Yeah, you're going lower. I think so. Probably relatively immediately. You're going lower. Yeah. All right. FET. Ooh. Huh. Interesting on the 4 hour. Let's look at the weekly first, though. I don't know. Do we have more historical data? Yes, we do. Okay. But not enough to be like significant. Let's see. All right. We'll just use Binance. That's fine. See, this is why I like to use Binance. Whenever I use the crypto, even though it has like most of the time, whatever crypto is, it's not an exchange. It's just trading views, like index, essentially. That's why there's no volume on it. It's got this big wick here, but Binance, which is like the biggest exchange for crypto in the world, they don't have that wick. So I like to jump around and make sure, because drawing a fib from here down there, that gives you a totally different reading than from here to there. You know what I'm saying? High to low here on FETI. 1272 resistance. Likely you're going to pull back to your 100 to 886 area. You're at 245. As much as it might pain a lot of people's ears, Fetch.ai is destined for 88 cents, if not $1.26.5. We're at 245 now. So anybody and everybody who's like, man, I wish I bought it sooner. Well, guess what? You're going to be like, I wish I bought it later, because you're probably going to come back down to this zone. It makes sense. It lines up very well with these lows. It looks perfect. It looks like it's meant to be. Finding support at a previous area of resistance, a breakout point, and then hitting your common areas of extension, pulling back to the 886 to the 100 level, very common maneuver to make as well. We've identified that time and time again on this channel. So that's my expectation at this moment. Let's look at the daily to see if we can confirm that. The weekly, though, does look nice. I will say you could go lower and still look pretty nice, right? And with this, you can wick a lot in 1 week, come back up and close. So even though it looks like it doesn't have a lot lower to go, it could go like a lot lower in the sense. On this chart, it wouldn't be a lot lower, but for us, for just looking at this from 244 down to 88 cents, that's a pretty sizable drop. Nobody would want to be in the way of. But again, any bearish calls that I'm making, I hope everybody's understanding. I'm not telling you you should sell. I'm not telling you to do anything. But if I could be clear, I'm not saying that it's a good time to sell. I'm saying look for prime opportunities to buy. If anything, it's not a good time to sell or buy. Wait for opportunities to buy, of which it's not right now. So I hope that makes sense. Day high to day low, 618 turbulence here, finding support at the 0.5. Kind of reminds me of Bitcoin. I mean, with that, you could move up about as high as like 290, 295, 320, somewhere around there. It wouldn't surprise me if you found resistance here, though, and started moving lower. You do have a nice bearish downtrend in your daily RSI. No volume coming in on this move up. Let's look at the USDT version. Yeah, no volume at all. Resistance at a previous area of support. It reminds me a lot of the Bitcoin chart, so I'm going to stand with that. I think you do go lower. You could find a higher low. You could find a double bottom, or probably more likely you will find a lower low to the tune of $1.40 at about 87 cents. All of these price targets make sense, right? That's the stuff that we were talking about at first. So yeah, lower is what I think. It makes sense to me. Probably immediately, like probably soon. The 4 hour does look nice. It does look interesting, not going to lie, but with everything else that we've seen, I mean, if you were to move up at all from here, it wouldn't be by much, and you're about to get started to the downside. So that's Fetch.ai. Digibyte, I'll let you guys know the list too, for those of you who are wondering when we're going to talk about the next coins, what they are, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Hold on. I'll go over it real quick. Here we go. Okay. So we got Digibyte right now. On deck is Brett. Mana, Jasmi, Compound, Dot, and Hbar. And then after that, we've got ML, Phantom, Farm, Tesla, BTB, TG, Sol, Doge, Tia, Pepe, KR, YLL, HZen, YFI, Bitfarms, and ICP. That's next on the docket. And you guys, after that, I'm probably going to call it there. I'm probably going to end that. You missed my philosophizing. I appreciate that, man. I miss you guys, man. I miss doing this. Like I didn't know because it's been so long. It's only been like a week or so. I didn't know how well it would go. Doing a live stream, I'm like, am I going to mess this up? Is it going to, not like am I going to mess it up, but how well will I be able to speak? Because speaking of philosophizing, it's like anything, man. You got to practice it. I've had jobs where I don't talk to people, right? Like it's a job where I'm like essentially by myself in the back doing my own thing. I talk to the people that I work with, but I'm not socializing so much. And then I've had jobs that literally it's a requirement to socialize. You have to be a salesperson. You have to talk to people every minute of every day that you're doing it. And like if you feel like you're an awkward person, here's just a trick in my opinion. If you feel like you're an awkward person or you don't know how to have conversations, get a job where you're forced to have conversations. Face that fear, get over it, tell yourself you can do it, and you'll be weird at first. You won't be able to do it well, but as you get better, it might take months, it might take years, but as you get better, you'll get more comfortable with talking to people. All that inspired by the thoughts of, I haven't really done this in a week. I was wondering how I'd be able to talk. Brit, not Brett. Okay, Brit, Nunya. We're going to talk about Brit and Brett at the same time. How about that? Because Brit is just as cool as Brett. I know a Brit, and he's a pretty cool guy. Yes, Brit might seem like a girl's name, but it's short for Britain. Britain is his name, and he's a good guy. Let's see. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Fet is merging with Ocean, huh? Interesting. Yeah, talking to people is fun, man. If you're ever afraid of talking to people, just like my favorite thing to do, man, is when I see some guy or some people who they just look like all tough and mean, just like, whatever. You're like, hi, and they just go from like tough and mean to just like hi, like they'll say hi back because they're human beings and we're all in our own heads. We're thinking our things sometimes seriously, and sometimes we have that resting bitch face, But if you say hi and you treat people like people, because we're all people, it brings that person out of that person, and I don't know, and that's how you make friends. That's how you stop being a weirdo, or maybe you encourage that weirdness a little bit, but with somebody else, and it's more fun that way, man. It's more, I don't know. That's how you meet people. Meeting people is fun. It's a good thing. We are social beings. Whether or not you think you're a social being, we are social beings, guys. We thrive off it. We really do. It's good for the soul. It's good for the heart. And some of us are more social than others, but we all have people in our lives who it's good to connect with, if that makes sense. Why am I having a hard time with Digibyte here? I feel like, did it get delisted from some exchanges or something? Because I feel like I'm having a hard time finding a good chart for this thing. But ICP, I got ICP on there. Yeah. Best thing to remember when talking to people is treat them how you want to be treated, and remember you're talking to another individual. Also, know the thing you want to talk about well. Yeah, you don't have to know it well, but I mean, if you're going to inform somebody, definitely know it well. Because for one, you don't want to inform somebody incorrectly, but also people can smell BS most of the time a mile away. But you could also, I don't know. I was having a conversation with the guy on the cruise, and we were both like talking about something we literally didn't understand it, but like I guess we were talking about how we didn't understand it. I don't know. You can talk about things that you don't understand too. Treating people how you want to be treated is good. It's definitely the way to go about things. I think treat people with respect. I don't know if there's a couple schools of thoughts on this, I guess. Like some people think respect is earned, some people think respect is given and then tarnished if you give reason to tarnish it. I'm one of those people that I give everybody I meet the same level of respect. I don't care what my preconceived notions are of you on the inside. I try to keep like a respectful level with everybody if I can help it. If you're disrespectful to me, that automatically makes me disrespectful to you. But at the same time, I try to keep it to where it's like it's cordial, like enough. Like if you talk smack to me, I'll talk smack back. That doesn't mean we have to be enemies, but you know, fair's fair. It's all fair, right? But that doesn't mean I'm out to like be your arch nemesis. I'm going off on a tangent here, man. But I think treating people with respect is a big deal. I do think respect is earned. You can earn more respect, but I don't think that just because respect is earned that you shouldn't respect people off the bat too. I think for me, I give a layer of respect and trust to everybody, and they can whittle that away or build upon it if they want. It's not that it starts at 0 and then you have to work your way up. It's like it's up here. You can whittle it down or you can build upon it, you know. But that's I don't know. That's how I kind of go for it. Chris Sakes, this guy does. Who's Chris Sakes? Chris Sakes. Apparently he does it all. Or unless that was somebody else. We'll do compound and dot, mischiefism. Let's see. I'm late. I'll cover ICP. Yeah, we'll go over it for sure. Hey, shutting up and listening is good too. Yeah, if you're quiet, sometimes people are okay with being quiet, and a lot of people are actually. I think they'll just be quiet too. People are okay with sitting in awkward silence, but being quiet, you can learn a lot more about somebody than participating in the conversation. That's for sure. It's funny, if you walk into a new room of people and you're quiet, you can tell automatically who thinks they're smart, and you can also tell who's quiet, who's nice. You know, the loud person lets himself be known. But I don't know, man. Sometimes the most energetic people are quiet at first, but then they open up later. Having 2 ears, listen, stop listening to respond. Yeah, I'm bad at that, man. I can just go on and on and on. Respect for everyone, yes. Respect for everyone. Attention for closest connections. Yes, Mr. Hat. SPA, S-P-A to the list. Yeah, I'll put it back on there. I'll put it on there. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad to be back too. For Christ's sake. For Christ's sakes. That's a thing. Thanks, Nunya. Yeah, thank you. I don't know, man. I'm not hip with it. I don't know. All right. Let's get into this, guys. We got a little sidetrack. Let's get into this. I'm gonna put on some. We're gonna put on the same music from earlier here. Oops, that's not it. Nope. Let's see here. Might be an ad. No. Oh man, we gotta play a different song because that was like the intro. We'll just let it play, man. It'll just play. Whatever. Who cares? All right. DGB. Bearish looking daily RSI, probably wants to go lower. You interacted with the green line, the 123. You went a little bit below it. Nice to see. It's a prime area to buy. As you guys know, in any uptrend, the way I identify uptrends with the 123 moving average, or at least maybe not how I identify it, how I treat it, how I would interact with it, is when we're in an established uptrend, which is when you have higher lows, right? You've got higher highs. When you're in an uptrend, and your 123 is sloping to the upside, the green line there, that's the 123. Anytime you're below it, generally is prime opportunities to buy, generally. Now, that doesn't mean that right when you get below it, it's the best time to buy because it went lower, right? It doesn't mean that it can't go lower. It just means that any time below tends to be the best time to buy. When you're in a downtrend, right, established downtrend here, you can see it's an established downtrend. Anytime you're above the green line, it's a great time to sell. More ideal times to sell, to buy. That's how I use it. It's not always true for every chart. It's important for you if you use it. If you use the 123 moving average, it is a long-term moving average, to go through your chart, get familiar with it, see how it interacts with it. You don't even need to show complete respect on it to get that same kind of respected notion. But look at just how well this performed, right? You're kind of starting this uptrend here, right below it, perfect time to buy. Uptrend here, you've broken down. You technically don't, I guess you do have a lower low there, but you don't have your lower high, so the uptrend hasn't come to an end just yet. You wouldn't really know if it's a good time to buy or sell down here unless you looked at the RSI. It's abysmal compared to this. Other indicators coming into play, but now you're in a downtrend, right? Noticeably a downtrend. Best time to sell, best time to sell, best time to sell, best, all these key areas to sell. And there's little points here, of course. It's not going to catch every move, but just the kind of key points across a lot of charts. I've noticed that that's kind of a thing. So playing off that now, prime area to buy. You didn't get that continuation relatively immediately. I wouldn't be surprised if you go back below the green line. However, how far do you go? That's the question. You know, could you form a higher low? Could it be a double bottom? Could you go slightly lower? You know, any and all of them are true. Like really, I mean, you could go quite a bit lower than that and still be fine. As far as the daily RSI goes, I wouldn't be surprised if you did go lower from here. I also wouldn't be surprised if you held that low. You know, lower from here, but not lower than that low. However, if you did go below that low, I wouldn't think you'd go lower by much. That low there is at about 1 cent, so I doubt you'd go too much below 1 cent. 1 cent's a nice psychological area of support. I'm sure that holds as support, but for now, the daily RSI does look bearish. Looking at the 4 hour, you had a higher high, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like an ascending triangle on the 4 hour. Nah, not really. I mean, if it is, you're going to come down. You're going to form that like next like bit there. You've got your flat top. I don't know, somewhere down there maybe. Let's see. The weekly. I like that. I like the hugging of the and again too on the notion of the prime buying opportunities on an uptrend being below the 123. This is on the daily. Now, that can be true for the weekly as well, but the weekly takes more time to form. Maybe it's not, you know, this, technically we're in a downtrend, so to speak, right now. I would argue that we're actually just beginning an uptrend, but I wouldn't say this is a good time to sell. The green line is sloped down, but I wouldn't say this is a good time to sell. It's probably a good time to load up. When you break above this line after being below it for so long and you break above it and you hold it and you hug it like this, that's very normal in my experience with this thing. Especially on the weekly time frames, and then you tend to like do very well afterwards. And that would make sense to me for a few reasons. Beyond the 123, your weekly RSI looks pretty damn strong. You could go a little lower and be fine, but from a high to a low point on the RSI here, you found support on your 236. It's also support, or you're finding support as of right now on a previous area of resistance in this grand accumulation phase. All coinciding also with that 123, just hugging it there. There's just multiple reasons why this consolidation up here after this, what I would consider a breakout move, looks really good. I do think that Digibyte has more to go. I think it's got a phenomenal run ahead of it, but for the time being, probably chills, probably goes down a little bit more. I don't know if it goes lower than that. I feel pretty comfortable saying that that is the low, the relative low, but it wouldn't surprise me if it went lower. So don't be discouraged if it does. But if you do, by chance, get prices below that 123 moving average, it is a 123 moving average, not an exponential moving average. Right? You go to indicators, it is a not exponential, but simple. It's a simple moving average. And I think actually, hold on, let me see, an indicator here. If I go to moving average simple, see it says SMA. I think the reason, if yours says SMA, it's the same thing as an MA. It's the same thing. I think TradingView went through an update because whenever I had this up before, the way they do their updates, they leave whatever you had programmed in before, at least that I've noticed, it just stays the same. But if you click on moving average simple, this is the favorite. This is the exact same thing. It just says SMA, but it's the exact same thing. It's not a smoothed moving average. I don't know. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Moving average simple. I don't see any other moving average weighted, ribbon, maybe simple moving average. It would be with the moving averages. So yeah, that's, if you see that, if you click on it now and you make one, it says SMA. It's the same thing as an MA, okay? Unless I'm wrong, in which case if I am wrong, I can't find the MA. And somebody enlighten me, but I'm pretty sure. Kids in bed. Yeah, bro. My kid is being nuts right now. Oh my goodness. I don't have my guitar with me. It's in the dungeon. It's in the dungeon. S stands for simple here. Yeah. I'm not hip with it. And yeah, that's like you said. I don't know if this is what you're saying, Patrick, but admitting, not trying to be false and being like, I'm hip with it if you're not hip with it. Like, whatever, man. Like just be genuine. Be genuine. If you don't understand something, you don't understand the lingo. Like, if people laugh at you for not understanding things, don't take it personal. It can just seem funny to them because it's outside their realm of normality. Laugh with them, like whatever. You can. I have a shirt that says, and I wore it on my last day on vacation. It says, "Woke up sexy as hell again." And I'm walking by these old ladies, and I could tell that they're reading it. They're reading it, and I caught them reading it, and they like looked away. And then I was like, day after day, I was like, it just keeps going. And they were laughing. And I don't know if they were laughing at me because they're like, this guy's definitely not sexy as hell, or if they just thought what I said was funny. But whether or not people are laughing at you, or like they might not even be laughing at you, they just might think that something about you is funny, and that's okay. You don't have to take things personally. It's okay to be yourself and for people to find that funny. That doesn't mean that they're like insulting you. They can just find it funny because it's different to them. And it's on you as a human being to take offense or not take offense to things. I don't know. I believe that most of the time people are offended far more often than things are offensive, if that makes sense. Again, most of the time when people are offended by something, it's exactly that. People are offended. It's not that the thing is offensive. It's just a thing. And somebody found it offensive to themselves, and they are offended. It's not that. It's that. Yeah, people are offended more often than the thing itself is offensive. If that makes sense. I enjoyed the hell out of that cruise, Tony. It was great. It was great, man. Dungeons and Dragons, M-Hat. You know it. Prognosis for Ada. We'll write it down, guys. That's probably going to be the end of that. The request. I'm going to close it off now because I can hear my daughter giving my wife hell in our in our other room there. So I'm going to have to help her out at some point here. But we've got a long list ahead of us. You guys, Digibyte looking like it wants to move higher. Probably in the more immediate terms, it moves down. It's consolidating. It's in this range, an expected area to consolidate. Whenever it's done consolidating, it's going to do probably very well for itself this cycle. I wouldn't be surprised if it saw new all-time highs. It genuinely could bust $1 this cycle. If not, 47 cents is on the table at least. And hey, being at 1.3 cents, that's not a bad take. So that's DGB. Let's move on to, we're going to talk about Brit first. Brit, and then Brett. Why? Because Brit is, we're assuming the lady, potentially, and ladies first. 1.2 million. That's probably the one we want. All right, so it's moving up a lot in a very short amount of time. Probably not a good time to get in. Volume's dying off. It'll probably pull back at some point. Let's look at the 4 hour. Might be pulling off sooner than later. Pulling back, sorry. Yeah, you probably pull back to 0.00312, 0.00122 in that area. Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. You're at 0.009 now, so you have a lot of dropping to do. It doesn't seem that significant on this chart, but if we take the current price down there, that is a 66% drop to potentially an 86% drop from the current price. And it could go lower. It really could go lower. So I would stay away from it right now. It does look like it's kind of breaking its structure. It does. Maybe that's not the right line to draw. Maybe it's more like this. Yeah. Take away the fib here. You know, this kind of straight line that you've got, but it's so new. TA doesn't, you know, it's more flexible with something like this, so don't hold everything I say to a point. You know, with that in mind, you could at first, you could come back up and even form a higher high, but test this line on the bottom side, giving you a rejection, giving you a double top, and then you go lower. You know, who knows how it looks, but dying volume on an uptrend is not generally a good thing, right? You can see the price was very strong, got weaker, got even weaker, and eventually you're going to go down. You're going to roll over. So I would expect that you go below this low here. That would be my expectation. And generally, or I don't know, genuinely, the next area I would look for on a closing basis would be here. So probably around 0.0013, if not at least, what was it? It was like 0.003, something like that around there, around this previous area of support. I know it's a bunch of nonsense on the chart, but you know, somewhere around here where you found support time and time again. Either way, you got 66% drop or more on your brain there, Brit. Let's talk about Brett now. Brett on CoinEx, maybe on Gate, no. Maybe on CoinEx. Okay, there we go. A little bit more. Again, same kind of idea, right? Volume's dying off. You're consolidating. I don't know. Might not be as bad. I think you go lower. I do. Yeah, I think so. Yep. Let's see, high to low here. You found support at that key area, you just didn't get the follow through. Unless you see a green day today, I'm convinced you probably go down to 4.1 cents or 4.4 cents or lower. 4.1 to 4.4, low to high. Yeah, maybe 3.8, 3.4 cents, something like that. Let's look at that 4.1, 4.4 area though first. I think it wants to go lower. Let's look at the 4 hour too. Yeah, bearish on the 4 hour, bearish on the daily. I think so. Yeah, you're turning this into a downtrend. You just peaked above your 123 moving average on the 4 hour, prime area to sell. On a new chart like this, the 4 hour might be treated similar to like how a daily would be treated on most charts until this thing gets more history on it. Don't use that as a rule. That's just sometimes that's true, sometimes that's not. But with newer charts, I do like to look at like shorter time frames, kind of as like Bitcoin's daily, like the 4 hour, because like that's I don't know if that makes sense. You know, maybe just ignore that part. That's just kind of how my brain works with it. I'm sure some people understand what I'm saying, and I'm sure some people are like, "What the hell are you saying?" And it's like I don't even know, man. Mana, Decentraland. Let's go to Kraken here. It's got the most historical data. What a drop! What a dump! I did not expect it, but I did say that we could go. I literally did say we could go when we were back over here, that we could go below 40 cents and still be fine. I wasn't saying that we could go there as in I was expecting it to go there. I definitely did not expect this move. Definitely not trying to take credit for a call that I did not call. That's not my style. But I did say that we could go below 40 cents and still be fine, right? Because we are in this accumulation phase. We're in this nice little box, and as long as we're in this box, we're fine, okay? So we found support in an area that we've kind of found support, relatively speaking, in this area, kind of an area that we found resistance here, whatever. We're going to work our way up. Mana's consolidating. It's in its accumulation phase. Whenever it's time to break out, it's going to see fireworks to the upside. It's just not time yet. We found resistance here. We're going to work our way back up, and once we break this line, that's when things will take off for real. But until then, we're trying to figure things out, man. Low to high here, 61869 golden ratio zone hit, found support there. Looking like you want to move up higher for sure. You've got a closing point here. It's a higher close on a weekly basis with lower lows in your RSI on the weekly. That is hidden bullish divergence. That is a good thing to see. All that to say, the weekly RSI itself also looks very bullish. Look at that posture. Look at that nice like channel that we've got here. It's all comforting. If this scared you, let me hopefully clear the air a little bit and just say, first off, look at the volume, insignificant. Look at the RSI, significant but bullish, right? We're still in our accumulation phase, nothing to worry about. If we go to Mana USDT hold on. You can see again, still insignificant volume. Not that it's above average, but it's nothing crazy, nothing like we've seen to the upside. So I'm really not worried about it. I think Mana's fine. That's probably the low for Mana. I feel pretty confident in that. And if it's not, same thing that I've been saying. Even if a move happens that I'm not calling for, even if we go down here, we're still in this box. So we could go as low as 30 cents and we're still fine. But I doubt it. I do think we're going to work our way back up. Now, working our way back up does not mean this. It could, but I doubt it. I would think that really we're going to kind of work our way up for the next month to 3 months, and then when it's time, we will finally see that nice, magnificent move that we've been looking for. That will take us up to $2, $1.50, $3, $4, beyond that, and really get this bull market started for Mana. Until then, we're just being boring. Perfect time to accumulate. This is a really good coin, I think, to DCA into. Hold on, just gotta. There we go. There we go. He's chewing on my daughter's toys because she has some little bunny rabbit toys. Anyways, let's see here. Jasmi coin, man. Let's see, what do we got on the comments here? Riot, Tony. I'm done taking requests, guys. I'm sorry. I appreciate you. I will talk about Riot. Maybe later tonight. I'll go over some mining stocks. Actually, I'll just write that down right now. Crypto mining stocks. But man, we're hitting that 2 hour mark probably. How long has it been going? Does it say? It doesn't say. Is there a way to see? Okay, I started at 5:10. It's about 7:10 now, so we're hitting that 2 hour mark. I'm probably going to end the stream soon. I want to try to push through as many of these as possible, so I'm not going to go through the comments as much. But it's okay, Tony. Whatever, man. There will be more live streams. I'll do another one probably this weekend. This coming weekend, you know, at least one a week. That's kind of my goal, guys. I want to try to do at least one a week, and as things get more dialed in, we'll be doing these live streams more regularly, various times of the day. I did try to give people a heads up in the Discord. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, I'm actually going to update that real quick. Let me see where that's the title, but where's the description? Bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Okay, well, hold on. How do I? There we go. Let's see. Let me get the Discord going here real quick. If you don't see the Discord, just refresh it. You know, maybe when the stream's over, or even right now after I post it. Don't do it now because it's not posted just yet. I need to get the invite people, copy the link. There we go. And let's see. Let's see here. Paste and save. All right, so it should be good now. If you reload it, I don't think it uploads it in real time or updates it in real time. Jasmi on Binance. Is it more on Coinbase? Wait. It's August 2022. So no. Okay, so that's Jasmi. There we go. Yeah. Okay. High to low. Finding support above the 382. You guys, I really did think Jasmi was going to go lower. I really have thought that it was going to go here, but man, it's finding nice support on this 382. The weekly RSI looks very resilient, I'm not going to lie, and it looks bullish as hell. You could go lower and still be fine. I just don't know if you go all the way back to this 236 as I've been calling for at 0.008, 0.0085, 87. You could. That wouldn't be crazy, right? Going back to your 236, but with how you're reacting with this 382, I'm under the impression you're probably going to move up here, man. You're probably going to move up to your 618, 6.9 soon. Like soon. A lot of cryptos are consolidating and looking to move lower or just sideways over the coming months. But dude, soon, over the coming weeks, you could be up at 5.6 to 8 cents. You're at 2 cents right now. This is one of the more bullish looking charts, I'm not going to lie. The daily RSI is neutral. It's not bearish, unlike a lot of things. Yes, there are lower lows. Yes, there are lower highs. But the price has higher lows. The price doesn't have higher highs, but I mean, here it does technically, I guess. I don't know. It's a very neutral RSI with a very strong, I would say, posturing above the 382. I really like this. This kind of look, you guys, I'm very convinced that soon, very, very soon, probably before May is over, if not even in the first half of May, you're going to see a move that takes you up to 5.6 cents to 8 cents. Now, that's not me saying you're going to be here in this zone in the first half of May. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying between now to the first half of May, you're going to see the beginning of this move. It's going to happen. We're kicking it off soon. Now, how fast does it happen? I don't know. 2 weeks? Could it be 2 weeks? Could it be 3 weeks, 4 weeks? I don't know. However long it takes is however long it takes. But we'll be breaking out to the upside soon. Just not yet. So that's Jasmi. That's Jasmi. I'm going to talk about compound. Yeah, bullish on Jasmi. I feel like my last videos were bearish. I thought we were going to go lower, but it's held support, man. It's really done well. Compound, absolutely demolished. We're going to zero. I sold all my coins. I hope you guys got out. No, I'm just kidding. I did not sell. If anything, it's a good area to buy more, in my opinion. It's a good time to DCA. You've got lower lows in your RSI, lower or higher lows in your price. That is hidden bullish divergence. Yes, we broke the structure that I did not want to see us break. Yes, we did. I've been talking about 63 holding. I really didn't think that we'd break that. It is weird to break out of an accumulation phase and then break back into it. It is technically a fake out at that rate, but if we look at this for what it's worth, we're just still in this grand accumulation phase. So I would assume that, and then just again hugging this green line, the 123 like that for so long and then breaking back down, it's not common. It really isn't common. The TA, I've been saying this with a couple of my bad calls or incorrect calls. It's not that the TA was bad, it's that the result was not good, right? It wasn't what we were looking for. And that happens. That's going to happen. With technical analysis, it's all probabilities. You're not going to be right 100% of the time, and you should not expect to be right 100% of the time. You should be grateful if you're right even half the time or more, right? It's okay to be wrong. You're going to be wrong. That's part of the journey on technical analysis. Sometimes you're wrong. You have a streak of being wrong, and you can have that and still be okay as long as you have good risk management. Poor risk management on like a shallow surface would be, I bought up here and I sold down here. Why? It's okay if you bought up here. It's okay, but why would you sell down here? This prime selling opportunity, prime buying opportunity, why do it reverse? You did it reverse once. Don't complete the cycle and sell down here, because now when it comes back up here, you're going to be like, even whenever it's at above higher prices, you're going to be like, damn, if I just held, I would be okay. And that's exactly what I'm trying to get at, is that good risk management involves looking at the long term. Maybe not always does it involve this, but if you're an investor, I should say, not a trader, from an investor's perspective, if you're looking at the long term, you don't get shaken out by the short term. Sometimes the unexpected things happen, but you'll blink, you'll close your eyes. You guys, in 2 months, in a month, who knows, it could be weeks. Who knows how long it takes that we're down here. But whenever we're up above $100, when we're up above $200, $300, this drop won't even be a thought in your mind. So if anybody got shaken out by this, that sucks. I hope you put your money into something that does well for you. But I definitely think that was the low for compound. I don't think that we're going to go lower. I would be pretty shocked if we did go lower. Already pretty shocked that we saw that low in itself. But there wasn't a lot of volume that came from it. If we look at the most volume on the biggest exchange in the world for cryptocurrency, Binance, on the US dollar tether pairing, you can look across the board. It looks right. This volume looks less. Let's look at it here. Just comparison. On this week, the volume over here, the red number says 959,000 compound in that week. 959,000, but it looks like a lot less volume than Coinbase, right? 959,000 compound. Here, this one was above average volume, and we had 263,000. So while deceivingly on the chart, it looks like it's more volume than the Binance pair, rest assured, it's actually not. And on the biggest exchange in the world, on the most traded pair in the world for any cryptos, the US dollar tether, we had not even above average volume on a very big week. When you see this kind of stuff take place with big up moves or big down moves, it makes the significance of them diminish. So I would expect we're going to flip this. We're going to have a very positive reaction sooner than later. And sooner could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months. Just be patient. It's the same old song and dance that it's been, man, for compound. Just be patient. It's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. I wish that we were up at $300 too. There are plenty of cryptos that I have my eyes on that I wish I had my money in instead of compound as well for like what it's worth. But over this cycle, I think compound's going to shine. I really do believe that we're going to see prices up above $1,000, $2,000, $8,800 is a target. Or maybe it's 8,001. It is 8,800 if we take that technical low. I have a hard time deciding because this is the low of the move, and that makes sense to me. But that is the technical all-time low, and right there you have about $8,800. So that's where that target comes from. But I think conservatively, looking at this for what it is, you look at the month, man. If we close right here, 6 days, 23 hours, we close at that 236 after rejecting the 382. This is a pretty normal look, actually. The wick aside, it's actually a pretty normal look. But 2,400, 8,000, still on the table for the cycle. Don't let these moves shake you out. That's all I'm trying to say. I really do expect that compound is going to start moving up. It's just consolidating right now. Daily RSI does look bearish. Don't be surprised if we move a little bit lower. We're at 59.73. Perhaps we move up a little bit first to like 67, 70, something in line with these lower highs. That's not a good line, but I hope you can see what I'm trying to go for here. Something like that. And then we could go lower. We could find a double bottom. We could find a higher low. I'm not anticipating a lower low than this, but that's compound. That's all I got to say. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to the next one. Spending too much time. I feel like I had to spend a little bit more time on compound because I was very convinced and still very surprised that we went below $60. It's not normal. It's really not normal. But again, to add to the illegitimacy of that move, the volume wasn't there. It was a very big move. It happened all of a sudden. It's a shakeout. It's a classic term. It's a shakeout. So hopefully nobody got shaken out. Hopefully you guys saw it as a buying opportunity, and you'll reap the rewards for it in time if compound is interesting to you. Okay, if it's something that you're interested in buying. Finding resistance on the 50 time and time again for DOT. You probably do go lower. You probably do. That could be your low for DOT, but you could go lower as well. Kind of like mana, you're in your accumulation phase, haven't really broken out. You looked like you were doing it here, but you found resistance on your 123 weekly moving average. If we look at this low to this high here, ooh, you got really, I don't know, man. It looks good, and then it looks bad. Rejecting this 382 would not look good. Finding support on the 618, rejecting the 382 would mark you for lower prices. We genuinely could see $4 to $4.60, maybe $5.60, somewhere in there. You're at $7.30 right now. And unlike compound, it had a big week, but this week came with a lot of volume, actually. If we look at it, USDT on Binance, just to double check, yeah, it's a lot of volume there. Significant area to reject too. That's not encouraging for DOT. Not in my opinion. Lower lows, higher lows, so that's good. You could go lower first though. Again, yeah. You're at 7.30 now. If you go up to $8, don't get too excited. You might pull back from there still, but that is on the table. Perhaps we go up a little bit first and then go down. That lines up very well with these kind of lower highs here. Something like that. It would give you a higher high in the RSI while promoting lower highs in the price. Hidden bearish divergence is what that would be. So the 4-hour RSI doesn't look bad right now, but let's just see how it plays out. Either way, guys, regardless of what happens, whether it goes up to $8 from here or not, I think that you probably do see lower prices. I'm just not convinced that's the high. If that is the high, the relative high, like relatively speaking, 540, 490, $4.12 is on the table. If not, if we go up to about like $8, $8.70, let's just say $8 right now, it'd be like 530 to 470, maybe 380, something like that. Still in this accumulation phase, but down nonetheless for DOT is what I'm thinking over the weeks and months to come. And probably sooner than later, probably over the weeks, and then over the months we consolidate, trickling to the upside, like most cryptos. That's my thought. That's my automatic biased opinion. Is that going to cover the board? Is that going to be accurate for every crypto? No, but for most of them, like 70% or more, probably you're going to find your lows, if not already, in the coming weeks, sometime in May, if not already, or by the end of this month. And then you'll consolidate and mess around, moving up, moving down, moving sideways for the next month to 3 months. It's kind of my expectation. It does update it. Okay, cool. That's good. Hell yeah. Thank you, MHAT. Appreciate that. Also has margin. Well, does it though? Does it though? I mean, that's a good point, MHAT. That is a good point. But is that, wouldn't that just be the futures contract? Wouldn't that be what is margin? Or am I wrong on that? To perpetual contracts, like, does it include that too? No problem, Mischiefism, no problem. Okay. Okay, well, hey, that's something. Margin, I mean, it is still volume, to be fair, but that is some spot volume, in my opinion, is a bigger, it's more solid than margin, because most margin trades are meant to be in and out, right? And most likely they're in to make a lot of money, but they're out because they get creamed. Where spot positions, you can get creamed and still be fine. You're in it for the long haul. They're more solid positions. So that's good to know. That's actually a good comparison there, Mr. Hat. Thank you for the useful information. Hbar, Hadera hash graph. All right, long awaited and anticipated. You guys, I'm probably going to end the video with this. And I'll make some videos later today going over the leftovers. The leftovers, yeah, I'm going to have to end it here because I got to eat. I got to stop the video. I got to take care of some business, and then I'll be making videos later as well. And if I don't make videos later today, I will throw these on for tomorrow's videos. Even though, like, isn't today's Tuesday? Even though Wednesdays aren't normally request days, because we're in a weird cycle of things. Getting back to it, I'll do requests tomorrow as well. I just didn't expect that I'd be on here so late, but man, I do a lot of talking sometimes. It's my fault, man. We should have moved through this a lot faster. We've only done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 requests in 2 hours. That's ridiculous, man. A lot of talking, a lot of BSing, and we talked about Bitcoin. So 19 coins, I guess. Yeah, Hbar moving up. I would consider that a breakout move. You know, we need more continuation to really confirm that, but you guys, this does look really well. The fact that we have this news, they say sell the news. The news came out and it pumped. Okay, that's nice. You know, we didn't really have the rumor that this was going to happen, but I don't know if it's a good time to buy just yet. Archax, Onera, and the Hbar found. So there's more, right? So you see, this is kind of what I was saying at first when I first heard this. Like, is it exclusive to Hbar or is it more? At first, it was Hbar is what I heard, right? That's what someone said. And then about an hour ago or 30 minutes ago when I looked at it, we saw Archax and Hbar. Now it's Onera, Archax, like, so there's 3. Maybe there's going to be more. Maybe I'm too skeptical. I don't know. But maybe it's not as big of a deal as it seems. I mean, it is a big deal. I'm not trying to downplay it. It absolutely is a big deal. But sometimes things like this, let me give you an example, right? Is this it? XDC. You know, back here, the United Kingdom's Parliament released to the press that they were going to use XDC to settle transactions or something. Like, there was some big story similar to what's going on now. And look at what happened, right? It had a huge pump, right, when that news came out. But look at what's happened since, right? So I'm not by any means trying to compare this to what's going to happen to Hbar as far as price action goes. It could. It's something to note. I'm more comparing it to the significance of the story. It's significant for the people who were holding before it came out, but for the people who are buying into it now, it might seem larger than life. And generally with those kind of things, if you buy in on that news, even if it just came out 6 hours ago or a day ago, even if it just came out, you're still too late, because that news just came out for you. But that's been in the works for months. That's not something, BlackRock isn't just going to make this decision overnight, right? It's been something that's been in the works for months. It's probably been in the works since down around here, since it found its lows and then started moving up heftily, right? With minor corrections and then a quick correction and a swift pullback up. You know, like, it's something that's been in the works for a while now. We are now just hearing about it. The people, BlackRock, that are in control of the media, I mean, maybe not BlackRock, but maybe it is BlackRock, I don't know. The people who are in control of the media, they want you to hear this stuff now. Why do they want you to hear it up here as opposed to down here? As opposed to, why weren't there any rumors of it? That, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't something that just happened overnight. Big money, big corporations, big people don't make these rash decisions that just happen in an instance. So don't be the exit liquidity. I'm not saying that it can't do more. It absolutely could. We're at 15 cents now. It could go to 30 cents. But who knows if after that, if it's boring, right? Who knows if, even though that could be from here, from about 15.8 cents, if it were to do a 2x, you would go up 100% from here in a very short amount of time. If it were to do that, are you going to sell up there? Or are you going to wait for higher prices? What if higher prices never come? What if it's boring for months afterwards, but the crypto you sell for this one ends up doing a 5x or an 8x in that time, but you decided to buy up here after it already pumped up 76% in a week? I don't know. I'm just saying that first before I get into the TA, because it is exciting. It is a big deal. It absolutely is. I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just also trying to be real and say that the more time you spend doing tactical analysis, investing, being involved with markets, the less exciting stuff like this is. It's cool. It's cool. Like, it's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. It is a big deal, but it's not something that makes me feel FOMO for Hbar at the moment. It makes me feel like I missed out already. It's not that I have the fear of missing out. It's that I don't have the fear. I have the realization that I've missed out already on an opportunity that could have pumped me up 75% in a week, which would have been nice. Anybody would have been happy about that. But there are probably better prospects to look to put your money in right now versus a crypto that just pumped up today, and this last week, right? There are probably better prospects, and you're seeing that reality happen now. We saw, potentially we're seeing that happen now. It's still too early to say, but this continuation, this reversal, as of right now, it's not a friendly look. Let's look at the 4 hour and get this in there. 4 hour, you guys, it looks very bullish. It's incredibly, of course it is. It's a very solid amount of volume as well. Let's look at the USDT pair. It's very solid. It's a hefty rejection there. I want to look at the charts and just see what we got going on here. High to low, common extension area right there. Yeah, common extension area hit, pulling back to 13 cents, 14 cents, kind of a normal retracement. And from there, you could continue higher to 22 cents, maybe even all the way up to 36 cents or higher. Who knows? I want to draw a line. Let's see. Horizontal line right here. Checked back at previous areas of support, finding resistance potentially. That's not condemning. It's just not encouraging for immediate continuation, right? If the rest of this week we pull back, or next week we attempt to get up here again but we reject again, perhaps what we do is we come back down to this line and we find support there, which is very healthy to do, but again, just not encouraging for immediate growth. It's not going to be like this for the next 3 weeks just because of this news. Again, this news is not new news. It's new news to us, but somebody had to write these stories, right? 9 hours ago, whenever it got released, 1 day ago. No, so that I think was before the news, actually. I don't know. Yeah, stuff like this. These were planned before they got released, right? So somebody heard about this news. They brought it to somebody that they wanted to promote this story. That person told their mom, told their dad, told their best friends inside, even though it's illegal to do that, we're all human beings. I'm sure that they didn't keep their mouths shut on stuff like this, and that maybe they made moves for themselves even, but they're writing this story in that time. They're not the only people that know about this. By the time that anybody reads these things, we're not the first. We're not even in the first hundreds of people that know about this, right? So the moves have already been made. As discouraging as that might sound, I'm just trying to give you a little reality check. By no means am I saying that Hbar is done growing. I think this is a big deal. I think that in the long run, this is going to promote a lot of growth potentially for Hbar, and I do think that it will see new all-time highs. But for now, it might chill. By the end of the cycle, you're at 15.6 cents now. You might be up at $1.22, $3.20, $20. Like, who knows? Like, genuinely, all those targets are literally on the table. From $1.22 to $20, as big of a range as that is, being partnered up with BlackRock there, and I wouldn't say partnered up, but essentially, and with how good the fibs look right now, that's not hard to believe, but pulling back to 14.3 cents, even down to 10.3 cents, is not hard to believe either. So is it a good time to buy? Maybe. If you're looking to hold for a long time and you're okay with it going down on you, maybe. Is it a good time to sell? It's up 74% in a week, maybe. I personally would look for the long term. I wouldn't recommend selling. Not financial advice, but I wouldn't recommend selling. I would just, if you have some here, whatever. If you want to let it go, whatever. But if it comes back down, buy there or buy there, DCA into it. And, this is definitely big steps in the right direction for Hbar. It does have hidden bullish divergence, which it's already played off of. But as of right now, we are looking at bearish divergence, where we have a lower high with a higher high. We are looking at bearish divergence. So let's see how the rest of the week goes. Let's see how the price action goes. Let's see how the market really reacts over the next day, over the next few days to close the week out to this news. Is it something like the XRP case, right? Whenever we saw XRP do really well whenever they beat the SEC, right? And then over the weeks to come, we went down, and we still haven't seen new highs since then, right? It's not that this wasn't a big deal. It's a huge deal, not just for XRP, but for crypto as a whole. And it's not XRP, sorry, it's Ripple. But this is XRP, but Ripple, it was Ripple's lawsuit. XRP can't be in a lawsuit, right? It's Ripple Labs. But sometimes good news is only good for a day, and then you consolidate. And that's because a lot of people will buy up here, and then over the months, over the boring weeks and months to come, that's what drives people out. And then they sell their coins at the low points. The big dogs buy it because this news is still relevant, and the big dogs buy it up, and then the price pumps inevitably. We are still very, very, very early in the cycle. For coins like Hbar, for coins like XRP, for coins that see big news happen, even if they sell off afterwards, we're still very early in the cycle. So don't let these things scare you. Please don't let them scare you. It's okay. It is all going to be okay. Take downside as an opportunity to buy, right? You all wish, I mean, me myself, I wish I bought some Hbar down here. Well, you might not be able to buy it down there again, but you could be able to buy it down here, right? Certainly, I mean, buying up here is fine. And, you know, if it's all the way up here, you're going to wish you bought down here, of course. I don't think that's going to happen overnight, but just when it does happen, inevitably when that does happen, you're going to wish that you bought down here, just like we wish that we bought down here right now. But just give it time. Just be patient. You know, try not to chase these things. And this is where we give BCH that kind of that nickname, the dragon. But this is a term that I use for like anything like this. It's like a dragon, man. It took flight. You go chasing a dragon, you try to grab it by the tail so that you can catch on the flight with it. It's going to turn around, it's going to burn you. You're going to get burned. You go chasing dragons, you're going to get burned. So don't chase it. Let it come back to you. Let it rest, you know. And then once it does something normal, like pull back to a previous area of resistance to find support, or see a common Fibonacci retracement from low to high here at 382, which is at 12.5 cents, maybe even 9 cents, 10 cents, something like that, then go ham on it if you want to, but not financial advice. You guys do what you want. That's all I got to say. That's the end of the video. I missed you too, Evan. Thank you very much. More cowbell. I don't have a cowbell, but I will buy one. You're still going. Had to go into town. Just got back. Rest up. Need you. Appreciate you, C-Car guy. Yeah, I'm still going. I am about to end it though. I missed you guys, man. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Thoughts about Omni Network Layer 1 still relevant? I don't know enough about it. I abandoned. I don't know anything about Omni Network. I have heard of it. I don't know enough to answer that question now. And Mike, I did close off the requests already too. But I can say, no, I haven't done OGN yet. But I can say, guys, for most cryptos, what I would say is that most cryptos have either found their lows already, or over the weeks to come, probably weeks, if not month to come. I would think less than a month, but maybe over the next week to 3 weeks, we find our lows. They could be dramatically lower than the recent lows that we have. They could be slightly higher lows. They could be slightly lower lows, you know. But over the months, just because we find our lows soon, and I do think we'll find them soon if we haven't already, we're going to consolidate probably for the next month to 3 months. I would think sometime in late May, if not more likely June, July, even August, will be the time that things start to break to new highs again. And that might sound discouraging, but you guys, we've got a whole lot of time left in this bull cycle. Crypto can move fast overnight. We got it right here. It can move fast, really, really fast. It doesn't need a lot of time to do phenomenal things, right? Perfect example, before I go, is Dogecoin, right? You look at Dogecoin, I mean, in the course of, from this low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, okay? 7 months time, you did is that right? You did more than that. Am I doing my math wrong? Oh, okay, no, that's right. I thought that was a 36x or a 34x. That's a 336x in 7 months. Now, not every crypto is going to do this. I'm just saying this is cryptocurrency. These kind of things happen, and they don't need a whole cycle to do so. It can happen in a very short amount of time. It just takes the right environment. It takes the right amount of accumulation. You have to go through all this boring time, right? A lot longer of a time frame than this was, but you get the majority of your price growth in a short amount of time. So use it as an opportunity, this consolidation phase, as an opportunity to get your money together, accumulate, DCA, dollar cost average, and put your money in where you think it's going to be the best for you. You know, Caspa recommended. I don't know, Hogan. I think Caspa's probably going to do fine for the rest of the cycle. I think it's proven itself. I don't think it's going to grow as I think Dogecoin from its current price, for example, will grow more than Caspa will from its current price for the rest of the cycle. I don't see Caspa doing more than a 20x, and if that, probably not more than a 30x. Where Dogecoin, I could see doing a 50x. Well, maybe not from here. Actually, let's see. Let me see. Okay, I guess that I take it back. Dogecoin and Caspa might be comparable. So if you like Dogecoin, Caspa might be a good one, but Caspa could go down. I don't know. I need to make another video on Caspa. But you guys, I'm going to end this here. I keep trying to end it, and that's all I got. So I will check SPA, but later. That one's at like the very end of the list. You guys, we finished off with Hbar, and I've got ML, Phantom, Farm, Tesla, BTBT, GSOL, Doge, TIA, Pepe, KRYLL, HZen, YFI, Bitfarms, ICP, SPA, and then ADA. That's 26 more requests. So I am going to end it here. We've gone through like 19 requests in the course of 2 hours. So the stream's been going on for a long time. I appreciate all of you guys very much. And I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everybody's looking at this time as an opportunity, because it absolutely is. It's your like last chance opportunity before we get into the real exciting part of the bull cycle. And it might seem, by those words, it might seem like that's coming upon us soon, and it is soon, but it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next week. We've got months ahead of us to appropriately configure the remnants of our portfolios, what we want to do with ourselves. So get your mind right, get your heads right. Look for things, you guys. Whatever coins you're doing, look for the coins, verse them instead of US dollars, verse them to Bitcoin. Do that. Okay? That would be if they are at higher lows and not lower lows, right? Like if you look at Dogecoin here back in February, it had its low and it's at a higher point now, where if we look at Ethereum, for example, we go to Bitcoin. Not that Ethereum is going to do bad, but you can see it's at lower lows now than it was even back in June of 2022. The coins that are at higher lows versus Bitcoin, that's a signal. That's probably a little hint that they're going to do well for the rest of the cycle. The coins that hold up best in times such as these tend to do the best. And that doesn't, when I say hold up best, that doesn't mean that they can't have dropped a lot. They could have just dropped a lot, but if that drop is still a higher low, they're holding up good. They're holding up good, right? If that drop is insignificant, kind of, right? It's small, but it's a lower low. Not that Ethereum's going to do bad this cycle. I just think it's going to have a lackluster cycle. And this is kind of pointing to that, in my opinion, but could be wrong. Just stuff to look for. Anyways, guys, take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Peace out.